Number 15. Animal encounters. A small kayak is completely dwarfed by an enormous shark that's not too far away. The shark begins to turn towards the kayaker and make a pass at them. Though it's unclear whether the shark was hungry or just curiously investigating its surroundings. Either way, the uploader of this video estimates the shark to be over 40 feet long based on the average size of a kayak. Sometimes being deep underwater can make objects look much bigger than they really are. However, here you can see that the shark is close enough to the surface for its fin to break the water, so its size is not being exaggerated at all. From what I understand, sharks don't usually come to the surface unless they see something of interest, so maybe it really was going to eat the kayaker. I'm not sure about the geographic location of this video, but it appears to have been taken from some sort of helicopter, perhaps one belonging to the National Coast Guard of whichever country is claiming these waters as its territory. Unfortunately, the video ends before we get to see the kayaker's fate. Of course, this uploader could just be skilled at video editing. Let me know what you make of this one. Wild animals can be incredibly dangerous, even animals that look as slow and non-menacing as moose are. YouTuber Azeroth6390 discovered that in June of 2007, when he published this video writing, "My dad and my grandfather were trying to chase a moose into the forest because it was in a village scaring people. What happened next? Well, see for yourself. The moose is wandering in the forest, and you can see a man and his dog head towards it. The shot cuts to 3 moose running along next to a home, presumably being chased off by someone, while a dog nearby the man filming starts barking. That's when one of the moose has had enough. He clambers through the trees towards the dog, and the man filming the man lets out a crazy bellow, so the moose thinks better of it. Also, he seems to be having a tough time getting through the thick bramble. The moose retreats, and the man filming says, "She tried to get us," in his native language. Moose can be very dangerous in terms of behavior. They're not as aggressive as bears, but their population size means you are more likely to be injured by one than you are by any bear. According to how stuff works in Alaska alone, moose outnumber bears nearly 3 to 1, wounding around 5 to 10 people in the state annually. That's more than grizzly bear and black bear attacks combined. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to feel the power of the weight behind those antlers. It's a little past 3 a.m. when Braden Lee hears objects falling over and strange noises coming from within the wall. The situation sounds like it could be paranormal until he turns the lights on and sees this small but scary creature perched in the corner of the room. Now it's time for his dad to get the creature out of his home and into the night. The bat has been flying everywhere, and he only has a few moments to act before it goes airborne again, so he has no choice but to put on some gloves and catch the creature, and it's all caught on tape to make for a scary 3 a.m. video indeed. He lets out a terrified scream and fumbles the bat before recovering and taking it outside. I'm glad that everyone is alright, and that it didn't land on his face or anything, because it definitely would have defended itself, and there's no telling where that creature has been or what it has.
Oh my god. Oh, it's good. Trace, am I a hero or what?
If you're out paddleboarding, watch your sea legs. Published in April of 2022, YBS Youngbloods writes, "A humbling reminder for myself that it's their ocean and I'm just a visitor. The paddleboarder is at first enamored with a giant sea turtle.
Turtle, big turtle. Oh, I'm right to think of it. Oh no! Oh! Oh!
But soon that excitement turns to panic. A huge shark is seen making his way over and passes below the man's board. When the shark does this, the last place you'd want to be right now is in the water."
Oh, there's a turtle. Uh-oh. Oh!
While many in the comments are panicking, Commenter Jethro X has a different perspective. He writes, "For anyone wondering, this is just how we have fun in Australia." A man is holding very still with his arm out at an odd angle. That's because he doesn't want to attract the wrath of this dangerous little fellow who somehow slithered into a scary situation. He is helpless as his friend carefully pinches his sleeve to determine where the snake is. He makes a cutting motion with his free hand to tell his friend what to do, not wanting to alert the snake with the vibrations of his voice. Once they carefully cut away the sleeve, you can see the snake is curled around his right bicep and in no hurry to leave. The mouth is right by his arm and it would take less than a second to strike with fangs. They wisely pull open the sleeve with the scissors to distract the snake and get its head away from his arm, but there's not enough room, so they need to cut more. By now, the snake is getting upset, so with no time left, they reach in and scoop him out. I guess they could have done that the whole time, but it was much too risky to be a first option. Take a look at its markings and tell me what kind of snake this is. I'm guessing by the way they handle it with such extreme caution that it has to be venomous. A landlord named Jill Prevost is in the basement of a rental property when she sees a furious house cat guarding the top of the steps. The angry, hissing animal descends upon her within seconds. Watch this part and you'll see the cat attack her purse with all of its might.
Stop it!
Jill simply holds it in front of her for protection. Otherwise, the rampaging animal could have easily been climbing up her leg.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
There is nowhere to run except past the cat up the stairs. Once upstairs, she immediately grabs a broom and remains stuck in the house until the owner comes back.
Get away. This cat just attacked me.
This video is definitely bizarre until you realize cats instinctively go for areas that cause the most damage, like the face or throat. Though it may be a domestic house cat, it is nonetheless protecting its territory with everything it's got, so who knows what would have happened if the owner had not come to Jill's rescue in time. A YouTuber named The Bearded Biologist created a wildlife channel to help people become more appreciative of nature and not be frightened. Let's see how he himself keeps from getting scared when having an encounter that would frighten 99% of most people, no matter how brave they think they are. Barely visible to the untrained eye and easily mistaken as a piece of driftwood is something that would have people screaming and freaking out, but not him. The biologist spots it and wisely turns the other way at 6 seconds. The curious snake makes no similar efforts to avoid him. The biologist seems to keep it distanced and distracted by his paddle, but it's not over yet. The fearless snake follows him for another 10 seconds and then lets him go. I, like you, most likely thought this was definitely a chase, but he says this was not a chase so much as curiosity on the snake's behalf. What he means by this is that it could be much faster and easily catch up to him if it wanted to. He's just being politely escorted out of its territory, which is a characteristic of the cottonmouth snake, aka the water moccasin. Some people say this is a harmless water snake, but he says it's not, and I can back him up on that one. Not that he needs my help because he already has 2 degrees in this field. This write-up from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department says water moccasins are the only snakes that float with their head above the water. They are also venomous and are responsible for 7% of all snake bites in Texas every year. So even though I applaud the bearded biologist and applaud him for trying to make me less afraid of nature, I ended up doing research because of him and freaking myself out twice as bad. Knowing that this venomous snake is showing him mercy, to me is just another way of saying he's at the mercy of a big snake. Sometimes the more you know, the more terrifying things get. This crab fisherman caught more than he bargained for. Published by Casey's Spotlight. Believe it or not, this is a real thing that's swimming in the waters of our oceans. Known as a wolf eel, this super creepy species dwells in the North Pacific. With a tail that stretches some 8 feet, wolf eels often wrap themselves up into caves, launching out with their wolfish heads to snatch prey, usually shellfish, urchins, and crabs. With crabs crawling in the cage alongside him, this particular wolf eel appears to be mid-meal, as there's something large in its mouth. The fishermen pull the object out of the eel's mouth. What do you think of this creepy creature? My advice? Steer clear of taking an icy dip in the North Atlantic. This person was hoping to have caught a fish on video, but instead they've caught a different creature altogether.
Bats for days. Look, he's right there. Dude, he flew right in my face.
A bat is caught on camera flying almost going into his mouth, and you can hear him spit in disgust.
Look, he's right there. Dude, he flew right in my face.
This creepy bat encounter is beyond creepy, but it should be really alarming for 2 main reasons. 1, a bat should be able to avoid people in wide open spaces with no problem, so this one was probably targeting him on purpose. 2, bats are nocturnal, so having one aggressively fly at you in the middle of the day could mean it has rabies. In other words, definitely not something you'd want to come in close contact with, especially not your open mouth. I really hope they're okay. A visit to the doctor's room for a quick medical checkup might be in order just to make sure. A YouTuber named Monster Mike Fishing may have landed his biggest catch yet, and it's nowhere near the ocean. His friend Jacob plugs the pipe so that their target can't escape, but now he has to reach into the murky waters to pull it out by hand. As soon as he announces that he's okay, this happens.
Are you okay? I'm okay. Guys, oh my god!
At 6 minutes and 12 seconds, the snake opens its mouth, and Jacob is barely able to hang on with one hand. He almost drops it and then quickly catches it again before it has a chance to attack. Now Jacob grapples with the snake and they wrestle to a stalemate. He can't hold this position much longer and calls to his friends.
I need help!
Only when he is pulled out of the sewer do they realize how massive this reptile really is and how much danger he was truly in and how risky this truly was. 3 friends are driving down some back roads late at night when they've caught something on video that has people questioning what was on the side of the road.
Oh, no, you don't see that.
Oh my, what is that?
Don't, isn't it?
Can you hear that growling?
The creature looks at them as they question whether or not it's been hit and needs their help. While it goes deeper into the forest, they feel like they should get out of the car and check to see if it's all right.
God,
Yeah.
I'm really scared. Tom! Where is it? Is it in the bush?
A deep growling sound coming from the woods keeps them from exploring any closer. They are pretty sure this isn't someone's dog, like they thought, but they aren't sure what to do next. That's when the decision is made for them. Run.
It sounds really close. Right, get in the car now, Tom.
The comments and likes for this video were split 50-50 between believers and skeptics. I might have thought this was real if I watched it just one time, but upon closer analysis, it's pretty obvious this was somebody in a creature costume on their hands and knees. When you look at their feet at 22 seconds, there are no claws and you can tell this is a costume that you step into, or at least that's what I think. Tell me what you make of this bizarre encounter caught on a full moon that night. A YouTuber called Survival Life tracks a gigantic snake across his local soccer field. I'm guessing that he must have been using a selfie stick to get this up close, but then again, it wouldn't surprise me if his hands and fingers were only inches away when this happened. Eventually, Survival Life backs off and leaves the snake alone, and I'm curious as to what kind of snake this was. I can tell by the tropical tree line that this video was taken somewhere near a jungle, in which case this snake could definitely be poisonous. Some of Survival Life's fans are saying that this was a cobra, and I just wanted to confirm what type of cobra this was. That way, we would know if Survival Life was risking a hospital trip or even his life here. Number 14. Shadow figure sightings. There's something lurking around this haunted place, shared by TikToker The King Horror. The kid who saw it with his own eyes cried in fear. After racing far away from the place, they turn back, and then they see this. This hooded figure is something nightmares are made of, and he's the perfect villain for bedtime. Never take something from an abandoned property. You never know what may possess it. Posted by Gary B8632 to the Chills Narrator subreddit. Gary explains that his sister visited an abandoned hospital months ago and removed a glass bowl and a basket from the place. Now it seems like something else came with these taken pieces. The Redditor says his sister was alone in her room around 3 a.m. However, beyond the desk, a shadow figure clearly manifests on the wall, appearing for a moment before vanishing into the darkness of the hallway. The Redditor claims that his sister has been waking up with marks ever since. Did she remove a cursed artifact from the property? And is this shadow person somehow possessing these cursed objects? Best bet? Return these artifacts before the aggression gets any worse. A YouTuber named Maddie Ann thinks she sees something walking around her backyard, so she grabs a camera and a high-powered flashlight and sets out to record it. By the time she gets outside, she doesn't see it anymore, so she starts scanning the yard with her light to see if it will move again. The disfigured and misshapen shadow is what she finds. You can see it peeking from around a tree for a second before ducking back into the darkness. The shadow is not really the right size for a human, and the head appears to be bald and shaped oddly. What's really weird is how the camera captures no features. If this was a person, then you should be able to see more details under the light. After all, the camera is able to pick up the brown color of the tree, so you would think that the person behind it would show some color too. Instead, Maddie Ann passes over a creature with a blank face. I don't think this was one of her friends, though I guess it could be someone wearing a costume with black mesh over the face. A man has been plagued by a demonic invasion that refuses to give him peace. On February 9th of 2017, he records not one, but two shadow figures ominously standing nearby. All you can do is hear his nasal breathing as he watches, stunned and trying not to scream, all while this heavy drape breathes in and out all by itself. Watch how it moves. That's not the wind. Besides, it was staying still for the past 4 minutes and 40 seconds prior. And you don't even want to see what's moving on his other window. I'll show you its true form in just a little bit, but for now let's focus on a couple different incidences first. On July 22nd of that same year, he is turning over a crystal again and again, possibly in hopes that some of its protective energy will rub off on him. Slowly but surely, this bright spot begins to manifest itself before his very eyes. Starting at 1 minute and 33 seconds, hope turns to horror as the omen spins around to reveal a grinning reptile-like face that he's sure is the Lord of the Underworld himself. Its stony face shrouded in half darkness. This ties into a separate incident 12 days earlier on July 10th. That's when he claims to have recorded what he calls a ghoul lurking in the bush outside of his window. When you pause at 3 seconds, it does look like the top half of a skeletal face that soon disappears into the bushes, black eyes and all. That definitely wasn't a normal animal, so what was it? It looks remarkably similar to the face seen in the crystal nearly 2 weeks later. Sometimes it would show up in the most unlikely of places, like the folds of a piece of fabric as shown here on February 15th, 2017. Do you see the creepy goblin face with a long nose, big ears and open mouth? I can even see an eye, and that's the more friendly of the two faces. This second one looks like two worried eyes and a mouth locked in a permanent scream. There's not as much detail and some of the features are disproportionate and misshapen, but it's still there nonetheless. So now that you've seen the demon's face a few times, I suppose you are ready to see the rest of it and the rest of the original video. This is what he saw crawling into his home that fateful early February day. This upside down creature is in fact one of the many beings who he claims to see on the regular. It's hard to make out exactly what this is, but it's harder still to disprove it, and it gives me a bad feeling all around. I tend to believe this video, and all of these sightings for that matter. He claims the quality of the video has somehow sharply deteriorated over time since uploading, and that the being at one point looked more detailed and even had horns. I don't see how this is possible for a digital copy to become less clear, but the colors do look muted here and apparently were brighter. So I want to know if you think that this man is legitimately seeing demons around his house, or if this is all happening in his mind. As much as I want to believe this is a delusion like some people think it is, I don't necessarily agree. The problem is I do see a lot of what he claims on video, so there's a good chance it could be true. Look closely and you'll see a tall figure in a black robe looking through the front door of this home. And no, it's not Halloween. It's large and yet at the same time so hard to see that it might be nothing at all. I see it though, and it stands there for a full minute without moving. All of the other rooms of this abandoned church on Long Island look normal, yet the chandeliers on the middle floor are going crazy. Jay Brennan claims to have seen shadow figures all over this video too, so be sure to tell me if you happen to see them. Just the fact that he isn't willing to go inside at all shows exactly how creepy this situation really must have been. The lights continue to go on and off. For some reason, at the 3-minute 35-second mark, they seem to get even more intense, almost like they are feeding off his mortal energy just from standing so near. He returns the next day to prove that this church really was abandoned and no longer in service. After all, no active church would leave their courtyard in such a state of disarray. But that's not all. Jay Brennan did some major research on this church and discovered that it had 3 separate fires and was struck by lightning twice. He provides the links in the description of the video so you can read them for yourself. Maybe these flickering lights were caused by one of the spirits from the cemetery next door. Are we being possessed by shadowy forces without even knowing it? Posted on Blah Blah's channel in January of 2022. This scary video is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community. The footage shows a woman walking a dirt path along a hillside overlooking a city. She is carrying a bag and she's alone. As the cameraman follows a short way behind, a mysterious and barely visible dark figure comes toward the woman on the path. The shadow figure runs right at the woman, but she doesn't notice it and continues on her way. Did the spirit possess her? Well, this captured our imaginations. As it turns out, after doing some research, I found the video is VFX produced by YouTuber Dark3. Still, the image will prompt you to look over your shoulder the next time you think you're alone. You never know what's behind you until it's too late. This camera caught movement where there was none, at least upon first glance. Redditor Lexi shares this mysterious video to the Paranormal Video subreddit. Keep an eye on the back bathroom. Did you see it? Something peeked in and out of the bathroom. And yet, according to the Redditor, no one is in there. Some in the comments think there's a squatter hanging out in the Redditor's ceiling, but to me, this looks pretty clearly like a shadow person. While house sitting for his aunt, Reddit user Notel4117 saw something on a nanny cam that freaked him out. First, he shows us the room in question.
So this is my aunt's son's room. Right. There's no one in here. Right? Nothing.
Then he shows us what he saw.
Right on the monitor here. Tell me that doesn't look like someone standing in the room. Like,
Does it look like something standing in the room to you?
like I've checked, like, went back and forth 3 times, and
He even does a side-by-side to try and make sense of it.
So, okay. Nothing, right? Like, what the f?
He then sets up the monitor, grabs a ball from another room, and throws it in there to see if anything changes on the monitor.
Okay, alright. There is definitely something in there.
The mysterious figure is still there. Many in the comments think the T-Rex and other items in the room may be casting shapes that create the shadow figure's form. Like others in the thread, I'm thinking it's probably a shitty nanny cam that doesn't capture shadows in their subtleties. So many objects in the room are coming together to make what looks like a figure. After all, the camera did make the T-Rex look like a terrifying baby. Bill Ryan is the leader of Project Camelot, an underground organization tirelessly attempting to uncover secrets on everything, from alien life forms to time control. Since Project Camelot encourages members of top-secret government organizations to blow the whistle on the most sensitive of state secrets, you can only imagine how many people want Bill Ryan gone. That's what makes this interview so creepy. While Bill Ryan calmly explains the inner workings of Project Camelot, a shadowy figure silently leans into the camera shot multiple times.
That you can get kind of caught up in these questions forever and a day and never come out of that.
Some people believe that this is a shadow messenger warning others not to come forward with their secrets. Other people think that this is a sign of constant surveillance on Bill Ryan because of what he knows. I personally think it just might be the reflection of a cameraman's arm, but let me know what you think is going on with this strange background figure. Did you ever pull an all-nighter in a haunted house? Paranormal investigators Dennis and Tim pair up as Nerve Paranormal to spend the night in this haunted place. They set up cameras and a tape recorder inside. First, a shadow in the corner is seen.
Стояла будто бы тень, вот так в углу. Да? Я тебе что хочу сказать-то? Смотри. Смотри. Я эту фигню закрывал.
Once they have the cameras positioned, they go to sleep.
Ну все, в принципе. Так, заснуть. Я не знаю, после этого все.
Something immediately messes with their camera. And then their lights. Another camera captures something entering their room. You're probably asking yourself, how could they sleep through all that racket? Well, they won't sleep through this. There's nothing inside, but there definitely is, and I think Dennis and Tim won't be getting any more sleep tonight. What is it about seeing a ghost where you least expect it that sends the most unnerving chills down your spine? Posted by Leo Alcala 213 to the Chills Narrator subreddit. A group of boys are outside at night when they spot this small figure far away, cast in shadows. At first, they see him standing in front of a lit building. Later, the figure is captured in front of another building. From afar, the shadow looks like a youth standing still. The cameraman says it looks like a figurine, although it doesn't appear to be moving. In a later clip, the figure is gone, although some in the comments say the whole thing looks staged. Redditor Gemancini writes, "Staged or not, it's creepy AF. Extra Serenity adds, you should go back and see if it's still there. Don't think I would heed this advice." Number 13. Strange Lights Phenomena. A TikToker named Matteo Zanil comes across a snowy fenced-in area with strange lights flickering across the sky. It looks like strobe lights over top a pale fiery glow. A flashlight is on him in an instant before he gets a chance to get any closer. It looks like they are holding a civilian-grade flashlight, and not one authorities would carry. So if this was supposed to be on a base, then it might not be real. Anyway, the guard shoos him away, and then follows him back to the main roads. I know escorting people off the property is what they do in Area 51, so maybe this video was real after all, in which case I have no idea what those mysteriously odd lights behind the fence could have been. This 2009 video is some of the earliest and most bizarre evidence of the weird and mysterious lights at the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, which is considered a hotbed of paranormal activity all around. Perfect spheres of lights like this one often are sighted in the sky, or sometimes on the ground. Strange lights that have never been explained. The mysterious lights don't look like anything made by a person because they are almost as tall as a tree and extremely wide, much bigger than even the largest of spotlights. This next video, taken by the uploader's brother shortly after spending a day at the Skinwalker Ranch, shows an object moving on its own in their basement.
Swinging for 15 minutes now.
More unexplained lights have been haunting his basement. Did something paranormal follow them home? The next time you gaze up into the serene night sky, you might experience a feeling of panic instead of peace. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by After Performance 2. The Redditor explains that these strange lights were seen in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last year on July 19th. The lights were grouped in threes, and according to the Redditor, some disappeared before she could capture them on video. The video shows a trio of lights floating overhead in the sky, and a moment later, another trio closer to the horizon off in the distance. The sets of lights don't float in strict formation, but seem to each be wavering at their own pace. They then flicker and disappear. Redditor Professional Truck 3 suggests that these were paper lanterns lit and then launched from the beach, but the 70s Kids negates that, saying if these were lanterns, they'd drift apart. Well, some say the wind is obviously taking the lanterns in the same direction. After Performance 2 theorizes that they're all going to the same destination. Another Redditor, Buster Blevins, chimes in proposing that this is not necessarily a unique occurrence. He wrote, "Last Friday, a bunch of people saw something very similar to this in northern Wisconsin. The lights would appear in groups of 3, and it was as if there was a pattern that looked like the light was traveling in a circle around something." Any other theories as to what these strange lights could be? During a mid-morning flight from Canada over the Appalachian Mountains in October of 2010, this passenger captured something mysterious from the air. Watch carefully. Can you see the reflections of light in the clouds? There also appears to be a disc-like shape that emerges from the clouds at the lower half of the screen. Watch again closely. Is this a genuine, unidentified flying object caught on camera? If not, what do you think this could possibly be? Buckle your seatbelts. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. This video is apparently forbidden in most countries, and it's clear why. The footage shows two lit up objects in the sky. They're both moving slightly, with one of them moving a bit faster than the other and in different directions. The lights blink as the unidentified flying device on the bottom moves up towards the one above it. Suddenly they fuse and it sends a shockwave through the sky like a bolt of lightning. What in the heck just happened here?
The dust the bugs down.
The uploader stumbled across the freaky forbidden video in the summer of 2018. Some think it's most likely a clip from an indie movie. Redditor The Lovely Raven 313 points out, if this actually happened, the media would be on it. Many agree with this sentiment, while some are willing to suspend their disbelief. When asked what it is, the Redditor admits he doesn't know. That's why I'm posting this, to try and solve the mystery, he writes. Can you solve the mystery? I'm at a loss here. A YouTuber named Deep South Bama with Mr. Tom wakes up at 3 a.m. after, in his words, he heard some deep thuds around his house. When he goes outside, he sees strange activity around the flagpole in his local graveyard. These bouncing balls of light streak across the sky without a sound or any clue as to what they are. Sometimes they are dim and sometimes they are much brighter. Somebody said that they could be bats, but I noticed the lights always seem to stay at about the height of a person. It can't be flashlights because they keep going out after a second. It's impossible to tell what it is from this distance, and I don't think he wants to get any closer. These two videos were taken the same day in Zurich, the largest city in Switzerland. They show a mysterious light repeatedly glowing in a cloud above. The light turns on and shuts off over and over again. The light is seen again from another angle. This time it spreads across in multiple segments, and it appears to be pulsing differently. I tend to agree that they're concert lights, but if I didn't know any better, I think the Swiss are about to be abducted. These strange lights have been flooding around in the desert for years with no reasonable explanation.
Now here we are in the morning, barely out on the Marfa city limits, and we're seeing them out there. So Pete and I we're having a great Marfa lights trip.
But floating is not all they can do. These lights are also known to change sizes, split apart, merge, and disappear at random. Sometimes they even seem to land on the ground and travel at high rates of speed, which makes some people suspect that they are UFOs. I personally have no idea what these lights could be, but maybe we can all figure it out together. Some people say that it's a natural phenomenon that's caused by a buildup of electricity. However, I don't see any obvious weather disturbances in any of these videos.
That gives me call too.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Check it out.
Wow.
I got you.
Captured in Wentzville, Missouri in late September 2022, Redditor I Use This For Work 420 posted this intriguing unidentified flying object footage. The multicolored light appears like a glowing ray.
What the is that?
As the crowd watches, it streaks across the sky and disappears. You can even see some in the audience pointing in the air, tracing the light as it shoots off. While the crowd's reaction seems genuine, others point out that no one else has their phones out recording, which in this day and age seems unlikely. Others in the comments are thinking this is a spotlight or CGI put in later after the reaction video was staged. I tend to think this was staged too, more due to the fact that no one else is recording than due to the light itself. What do you think is going on here? This video was posted on my subreddit by someone in Palo Alto, California. For well over a minute, these large lights jump all around the sky, changing direction seemingly at random without logic or reason. After a while, the mysterious lights slowly lower to the ground, almost as if landing somewhere unseen.
Yo, what is that?
Oh my gosh.
They're like moving around.
Look at that.
What is that?
This landing maneuver strongly suggests that this is some kind of controlled aircraft, though exactly what it's being controlled by is anyone's guess. The person who posted this video claims to be a pilot and has absolutely no idea what this could be. I thought this could be an experiment with flares, but they say military flares are much smaller and move differently. Whatever it was, I would be particularly worried because, according to his estimations, the strange lights apparently landed about 20 miles from his house. This intriguing unidentified flying object sighting was captured on a windy night in Spain in 2009. A full moon is looming overhead. Watch to the left of it.
You know, it's kind of funny. You see it like a little shadow over there on the left side of there, and look around that. I don't know. I really can't tell.
A strange light formation appears. At first, the lights are in disarray.
Wait a minute. Look at holy shit, look at that. Look at the shape. Oh my god. Wow, that's cool. Looks at that. Yeah. Look at it. It's covered right.
But then they form a triangle.
They look at it. People see. That is. Wow. It's a binding from the reason that.
Many in the comments are astonished and are wondering if this is for real. What do you think? Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by ImpressiveMany4743, this Redditor wrote, "We are not alone." The Redditor says they filmed this on their way home. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Was out here today and seeing these stars formed up. I don't know what the hell they are. Look, a perfect triangle.
What?
And they're slowly disappearing.
Wait.
Just getting distant outside.
I just think that these guys are tied up right how I think of it.
It's like but nothing.
Are those two lights a part of a much larger aircraft? I don't know for sure, but I do know that if I saw this on my way home, I'd be nothing short of terrified. Number 12. Stranger encounters. A YouTuber named All-in-One Gaming is watching television when a flash of light catches his eye. He looks out his window only to see a shady person trying to gain entry to a nearby shed. All-in-One Gaming is stunned by the situation for a full minute before he remembers that he has motion sensor lights. He quickly activates them and sends the intruder running.
Turn on the light.
It is not clear if this person is simply looking to take property, or if they are one of his thousands of fans who somehow got his home address. If this was a stalker, then who knows what they would have done if they had gotten to him. This video is the launching point of one wild ride. Posted to the Ring subreddit, Midship 92 explains that his neighbor messaged asking him to check on his wife who was home alone because someone was trying to get inside. After going to check and finding no one, this friendly neighbor went back home, only to find this Ring video footage had been sent to him. The clip shows what the man just missed, a shirtless creep crawling up the front steps of the home, hiding his face away before trying the door in an attempt to break in. The man then lets himself down the steps and walks off. The Redditor adds in the comments, after doing this to several houses and evading police, he was finally caught. Finding the man was quite an ordeal. The Redditor elaborates further, explaining that during the police search, the suspect kept disappearing only to be seen again minutes later, after trying to catch the guy for nearly an hour, only for him to vanish into thin air. The police abandoned the search. Left to his own devices, the man again tried to get in through another neighbor's back door, but the Redditor saw him from his deck. He chased the man into another neighbor's crawl space and stood guard there until the police returned. Thankfully, the wild goose chase led to the wild goose being caught. Hardly anyone wants to see a clown at the best of times. Guaranteed, no one wants to see an uninvited clown on their doorstep. Published to YouTube in August of 2019, this creepy clown is everyone's unwelcome guest. Residents of San Antonio, Texas, likely double-check their locks after video of this creepy visitor was captured on Ring surveillance footage. The clown was said to be loitering outside people's homes in the middle of the day saying trick or treat. Again, it was August at the time. The Ring footage captures the man wearing a clown mask approaching a home around 1 p.m. The anonymous homeowner wasn't present at the time of the clown's visit. The security video was shared to neighborhood groups, sending a collective chill down everyone's spine. Resident Ernest Marquez sums up the fear saying, "What his intentions were, I don't know. The uncertainty, the unknown is everyone's greatest fear." Hopefully this case was broken before it was too late. A Ring camera caught yet another attempted intruder in the act, actually this time too. Published to YouTube in a Ring cam video by Full Moon Crazies in July of 2019, the surveillance camera was placed behind a lamp and captures a pair of thieves going into a home during the Christmas season. The thieves are partially hiding their faces with their hoodies, and they seem to spy the Ring camera right away, as they look directly at it. After gathering some backpacks, likely filled with the taken goods, one of the intruders can be seen knocking the camera down to avoid its capturing further incriminating footage, but he didn't totally succeed. Two more intruders are caught on camera entering the room from the hallway. The clip ends without further explanation. These intruders more than likely made off like bandits, but we can only hope this video evidence was enough to catch them. Either way, this cost them Christmas, as they were sure to end up on Santa's naughty list. Maddie Smith is traveling to the airport with her friends Tyler and Tori when her Uber driver Tony displays some very strange behavior along the way. He makes a remark that immediately puts them on edge, and I wanted to get your opinion on how you would feel if someone randomly said this to you.
God was telling him that someone in the car needed to be saved and we needed to figure out who it was.
Shortly thereafter, he begins reciting scripture that could easily be taken as thinly veiled threats, especially coming from a stranger they've just met.
He was a murderer of anything that he would suffer.
I personally think that he should have been able to see the rather obvious discomfort on Maddie's face and probably should have stopped this discussion, but he continues to steer the conversation towards his beliefs. He's been talking for a long time now, and Maddie hears the GPS telling him to turn around because they've missed their exit. She claims that Tony later admits that he was missing the exits on purpose. My question is if he wanted to simply ramble at them some more, or if he is blatantly taking them somewhere else. Watch this and you tell me.
You can play church all your life. I never really understand what you're...
Now that I think about it, this routine might have been a trick to get more money. They were too freaked out to do much about his ranting, and ended up riding around with him for an hour, and eventually they requested that he drop them off, even though they were not at their actual destination. How serious do you think Tony was being? And where do you think this conversation would have ended if Maddie and her friends had not stopped it sooner? Hannah Forcier suspects something horrifying is in her attic after numerous strange events leave her afraid. She once took a creepy photograph through a crack in her attic and saw this eerie figure looking back at her. Its pale brow barely visible. She's not sure if she's seeing things or not, but I can tell her that if this isn't a Photoshop, then I definitely see the mysterious figure too. Ever since then, she's been trying to get a grip on this scary, unsolved mystery. She calls maintenance to inspect the attic for any signs of an intruder.
Would it be safe for a person to walk up there?
Oh, no.
No.
His reaction is not as scared as hers, and he says there's not much of a chance of anybody going up there, but judging from the scary knocking sounds that come from that area, I'd say he appears to be wrong. The unsolved mystery gets even scarier from there. Later, when they go upstairs to check, they find an empty can at the entrance of the attic. I mean, it is within arm's reach, so they totally could have planted that there themselves and then had a scared reaction. If not, then apparently somebody's been doing a little sipping while snooping. With that in mind, does it sound like the maintenance man is a little shady when she asked if anyone's been up there?
Would it be safe for a person to walk up there?
Oh, no.
No.
Nevertheless, let's hope they find whoever's been up there. A YouTuber named Philip DeFranco is busy analyzing the news for his channel when somebody barges into his home office unannounced.
Come in. Hi. Oh, are you looking for, who are you looking for? Anyone?
The unseen voice calmly says that they are basically looking for anyone related to the show to talk to.
What's that? Oh, wait, can you open?
I'm a fan.
Philip DeFranco handles the situation remarkably well and does not overreact. The fan appears shy and not much of a threat. The fact that he was willing to look up his address and then wander over could mean that he's not all there mentally. Based on what you've seen, tell me if you think this fan was generally curious or up to no good. Maybe he was snooping around for a souvenir to take and got caught. When you want to get away from it all and get back to nature, camping is an ideal way to self-isolate, but sometimes you're not alone. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by WillyComics64, the Redditor writes, I found this guy near my campsite, and I don't know who he is or where he came from. The clip shows a man lurking in the trees near Willie's campsite. He appears and then just as quickly vanishes. Well, some in the comments don't find this all that odd, as hiking is part of camping. Others think it's just a little weird that the stranger didn't introduce himself and just seemed to disappear in an instant. Willie explains in the comments that the situation freaked him out because no one was renting the site next to him, and he didn't see this man at any other campsite or on the trail that loops around the campground. Redditor Laura Malia649 writes, and this is why I fear people when I camp more than the wildlife around me. Others think that the man acted very suspiciously and hoped that the Redditor has something to protect himself with. Redditor FakerHoach10,000 suggests that perhaps the man was growing deep in the woods and just came out to look after his plants. Willie can only hope that these assessments are right, because if this man is anything other than a hiker, a camper, or a grower, then who knows what his intentions are. A Pakistani health and beauty channel called Beautify With Me recently caught a creepy sighting on video that has left them horrified. A hooded figure in black robes is caught on multiple CCTV cameras, haunting the outside of their house. It looks pretty scary until the figure walks by the first camera, at which point you can see they are wearing sneakers or some kind of modern looking footwear that doesn't exactly match the rest of their spooky outfit. Still, this video is a major departure from the rest of their channel, and this is a really weird video to fake a day before Christmas, so maybe it's real, not necessarily a real ghost video, but maybe a creepy stranger encounter caught on CCTV. Whatever it is, a mysterious figure hasn't shown up on her security cameras since, and hopefully never will. Shortly after moving into their new apartment, this couple began to feel watched, so they installed a camera in the bedroom. A few nights later, they record a full-grown adult standing outside of their window. At first, he is so focused on staring into their bedroom that he doesn't even seem to notice or care about how obvious he stands out against the well-lit parking lot. When the couple inside walks closer to the window and gets on the bed, he tries to be a little more cautious but fails miserably. It's pretty obvious that he is still there and eagerly looking straight at them. He is about as close to the window as he can be, and he is probably really getting into the idea of watching them without being seen himself, not knowing that he himself is on camera. They can see him the entire time, and this is the exact moment that the boyfriend goes out and confronts the man, who quickly stands up and shows no aggression as he walks away. It turns out to actually be their neighbor next door. He came over and apologized the next day, but something tells me that this is a compulsion that he cannot help, and soon enough he will be back at it again, if not with them, then with someone else. A YouTuber named Waffle Vlogs records a strange man standing outside his apartment home. According to Waffle Vlogs, this uninvited guest stood at his front door and then started walking the parking lot for a long time.
What's he doing out there?
He stares out at nothing for a while and eventually walks back to his car, which is a relief, but still doesn't explain what he was doing there to begin with. Waffle Vlogs seems just as confused as we are about what just happened to him. He thinks that he might have been getting his house cased out. I have no reason not to believe him. Do you? This video captures a total stranger on a bridge waving hello to rush hour traffic in a full clown outfit. A stranger waving to no one in particular is creepy enough, but take a look at its arm. Maybe it's just the angle, but the arm seems way too long and thin to belong to any person. Slow it down at the 15-second mark, and you can see the forearm alone looks to be the same length as a normal person's entire arm. Number 11. UFO encounters. This rare leaked footage supposedly shows the chaotic aftermath of a UFO that smashed into the sand at Roswell, New Mexico. Medical doctors and military personnel swarm around a gaunt humanoid laid out on a stretcher. Its body is only about half the size of a full-grown man and shares all the characteristics of the quote-unquote little gray man stereotype. I'm not sure how real this video is, because even though everyone is rushing around frantically, no one really seems to be doing much to keep this situation moving forward. They look more like actors than trained professionals in this regard. Also, if this being just dropped out of space, then I'm surprised it doesn't look more banged up than what you see here. Maybe the damage is internal, or maybe it's just a prop. At any rate, this video was supposedly recorded in 1947, so I'm hoping a film expert could further analyze this video and tell me whether or not this was really recorded during that time. During a thunderstorm over Barcelona, an unidentified flying object popped in for a visit. Shared by Redditor Little Space Moshi, this large unidentified flying object left its blinkers on. The unidentified flying object appears unmoved by the lightning. The large saucer just hovers there, leaving many concerned, but don't be alarmed. While it may be fake, I think that a CGI artist should earn an Oscar for this one. The International Space Station is a floating research base built by NASA that orbits around the world. This footage was taken from cameras on the outside, and it has led many people to believe that NASA accidentally live-streamed alien contact on television. Everything looks normal when all of a sudden, a small number of UFOs casually travel from right to left across the screen. Stranger still is how NASA suddenly cuts away to a wide shot of the mission control room when this happens. They later claimed that the UFOs were ice particles, but perhaps there is another explanation. A TikTok user named Caesar in MP is piloting a plane when he sees an oddly terrifying unknown flying object skimming the clouds. Just below, the tiny circular object appears to have no propellers and emits no exhaust. It looks like it's moving extremely fast, but keep in mind Caesar is passing it in his own aircraft, so its exact speed is unknown. A regular civilian drone could not move at this rate of speed, and its design looks more complex than a regular drone. So what do you think? Secret project? Or something from someplace much farther away than Earth? It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a humanoid figure in the sky. Posted by L. Nelson, Gonering in October of 2017. This mysterious humanoid was caught flying or floating over Sydney, Australia. The sighting lasted all of 5 minutes, with this figure disappearing and reappearing as the camera zooms in and out. What do you think this is? Is it explainable, or could it be something not of this world? I've seen similar videos in the past, and they have never been explained either. Could this possibly be connected? I just know I'd question everything if I looked out my window and saw a floating human in the sky. These two motorists are driving around in the UK when one of them looks up in the sky and pulls over. They stare at the clouds for about 15 seconds and nothing happens. Then, just when they are about to give up, an unknown object appears immediately in front of them. It drifts into a cloud and some kind of electric reaction happens. Lightning goes off and then a weird semi-transparent rectangular object floats to the ground. The video is very low quality, so either this was taken a long time ago with a bad camera, or else it was probably edited. Either way, I must find out more about what was in that sky. An unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as a UAP, was captured at Dreamland in Dripping Springs, Texas, and shared by Redditor My Brian on Acid.
Bottom welcome it.
You doing?
Recording the alien spaceship?
You need too.
It's like not moving at all.
The uploader says another source reported on this same sighting.
And it's like way higher than the planes that just flew by. It's like further away. It's not moving at all.
Well, let's see if it's up there after we play.
The post the Redditor is referring to was captured by someone walking their dog who believed the UAP to be a planet, but once they looked at it through their binoculars, they noticed a dark center and a haze around the object. In the comments, Redditor Cronin Siglos appeared to crack the code, writing that it's a high-altitude balloon called an HBAL 604. After seeing one of these, I have to agree.
And it's like way higher than the planes that just flew by. It's like further away. It's not moving at all.
A UFO appears to burn in midair as it stalls directly over Area 51 in front of plenty of witnesses. I think this video is probably CGI because the smoke almost looks like it could be a looping animation. But if anything like this were to ever happen on Earth, Area 51 is where it would most likely take place, so I'm not entirely discounting the legitimacy of this video. YouTube channel KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas investigated the site of a reported unidentified flying object landing.
Tá vindo a mata, João. Uau. Não, não é bicho não. Nunca vi bicho não, seus barulhos não.
They come across a burning ember. Was someone recently here? Shortly after, they see something watching them.
Tá lá agora. Tá lá, velho. Mano. Tem alguma coisa ali. Irmão, tô vendo. Não, pera aí, mano, já tá focando. Pedro. João, é um olho, João.
They quickly grow frightened.
Olha ali pra baixo, Pedro. Cadê a gente? Cadê a gente? Correu pra cá. Correu pra baixo, mano. Mano, tá mudando de forma, mano.
They find nothing there, but as they're about to call it a day, they hear something again.
Olha, o que é isso?
And then they leave us to guess what's next. I think they were being stalked, but I don't think their stalker was human. We'll have to tune into the next episode to find out. This video, supposedly leaked by a former NASA employee while orbiting the Earth from space, apparently shows the fabled Black Knight satellite in action. According to theorists, the Black Knight satellite is actually thousands of years old and made by extraterrestrials, not humans. Many people believe that NASA is going to great lengths to cover up the existence of this foreign object, as well as whoever created it. The video itself looks pretty old, possibly from the 60s or 70s. The quality is grainy due to either aging or CGI effects. Based on what you've seen here, tell me if you think this is a real cover-up or just video editing. In March of 2019, the sky opened up over the city of Al Ain in the UAE, scaring everyone within a 10-mile radius. Posted by Mr. Potek in November of 2019. This footage was originally posted to Twitter by Ibrahim Al-Jarwan, reported to be an astronomer and meteorologist by the Daily Mail. The footage of the strange whirlpool in the sky was captured while driving. The video went viral, as many were left mystified about what it could be. Are we really looking at a portal to another world? If so, what world are we entering? I just wish we had more footage of this event. It would help us solve this mystery once and for all. This live recording was shot somewhere in the country of Turkey. The news report itself starts out normally enough until a bystander notices an object in the distance and points it out to the rest. A group soon gathers around to gawk at what appears to be a large amount of UFOs in the sky. The fact that the video ends before anything else happens makes me think that it could be fake, or maybe an electronic disturbance jammed the cameras. If anyone in Turkey knows more about this video, please let me know. Number 10. Biker incidents. A motorcycle vlog turns paranormal when a man in India goes exploring down a long haunted cemetery road. His dashcam refuses to focus as he rides past the cemetery gates. So strong is the paranormal energy, he thinks he made a big mistake coming down here, and based on what happens next, I'd say he was right. Their lights chance upon a lone figure wearing a dress. There's no reason for anyone to be on foot out here at this hour. No flashlight or any source of light. Minutes away from a haunted cemetery. The figure is not a tree and appears to be stepping first towards and then away from them. I suppose it could be a pedestrian, but like I said, why someone would be roaming this eerie place is anyone's guess. Upbeat Jason puts on a helmet cam and rides around the neighborhood with his friend on BMX bikes. The video is mostly a nice view of the countryside until he comes across some neighbors with aggressive dogs and no leash. Jason tries to get past them instead of taking another way around, and suddenly finds himself flanked on both sides.
Ah! There, go fast!
A dog lunges straight at Jason, jaws snapping. I don't think they make any contact, but I can tell by the sound of their bark that they are ready to attack. Clearly, they would have protected their territory if Jason stuck around, which he does not. But just when he thinks he is a safe distance away, he hears barking behind him and the chase is on again. Eventually, an adult picks them up and quickly puts their bike in the back of their truck before anything else happens. I really hope the two friends never bike past that house again. Everyone knows you must drive defensively when you're on a motorcycle. After all, there's nothing between you and the pavement, except whatever you're wearing, and a helmet. But sometimes, no matter how defensively you drive, you learn how little others value your life. Delta 394 learned that in July of 2017, when he published a video of his encounter with a crazy driver. In the video description, he explained, "Guy in the blue Fiat Panda tries running into me while cutting across lanes. I wasn't having any of it. Decided I would confront him in the supermarket car park. And he did confront the man, all of which was caught on camera."
Do you know how to use lanes, you prick?
Tell you. It's tell you. You smash my bloody thing. Why don't you see where you're going?
Why don't you go in the right lane? I'm on the left.
In the right place.
The man claims the biker smashed his mirror, while the biker claims he almost ran him over. As it turns out, the Fiat driver didn't like how the biker was driving, frequently slowing down and speeding up again. The biker then questioned what was more important, the man's mirror or his life. Most in the comments section seem to agree that the Fiat man deserved every bit of that confrontation. Who is in the wrong here? What do you think? A YouTuber named The Maniac sets out with his cousin to explore the back roads of Maine. Within 5 minutes, a vehicle pulls up and somebody gets out while pointing at the ground. He doesn't identify himself, and he certainly isn't a police officer, so I think the Maniac was in the right to try and get away. I will admit that they were going pretty fast earlier, so maybe that's why this person was so upset. Anyway, approximately 2 minutes later, they see him again, but he is already turning with a car behind him and unable to swing back around. This time the Maniac speeds by him for a final look, and sure enough, the man is wearing the same gray shirt and watch as before. The Maniac speeds off again before the man has a chance to get out of his car and try and make another attempt to stop him. While crossing a bridge on a foggy night, this motorist witnessed a live vanishing act. Posted to TikTok, a biker is seen up ahead. The motorist looks right and then left while crossing the bridge. The biker is still in front of him, but he is getting more and more lost in the fog, and then suddenly the biker disappears altogether. Even as the fog clears up ahead. Where did he go? Wherever he went, humans were clearly not meant to see it. A motorcyclist named Motor 2 Wrist is biking through India when he misses his turn and gets lost. Now it's threatening to rain and his bike's narrow high beams are his only source of light. Motor to Wrist is already close to losing his composure when he sees something that pushes him completely over the edge. Some stranger rushes at him from the side of the road. Keep in mind that it's 10 at night and there's apparently no villages around for miles. The pedestrian would have to be out of their mind to travel down a dark road in bad weather without so much as a flashlight to guide their way. Moto to Wrist is positive that he's seen a ghost and quickly speeds off, though it might have been someone in distress. We'll never know what the situation was for sure, but I'd like to get your opinion nonetheless. A YouTuber named High Gear and his friend are riding dirt bikes in the Russian woods when one of them almost gets their head taken clean off. His friend ducks just in time to avoid a steel cable that's been stretched tightly between two trees. The tripwire would have done some serious damage if he hadn't moved out of the way. They think it's a trap set by some psycho lurking in the forest. You can hear the anger and disgust in his voice as he talks about what they should do next. He even talks about hiding in the woods for a while and getting revenge on whoever returns to the spot. Ultimately, they decide to simply disarm the trap and take the wire cable with them. If this video is real, then whoever set this trap must still be out there waiting for their next chance, so I hope High Gear and his friends stay safe out there. A YouTuber named Baskir Beniwal has been thinking about the strange events of this unexplained video taken on his helmet cam at night in India. The more he thinks about the mysterious encounter that I'm about to show you, the less sense it makes to him, and the more scared he becomes. So let's try to solve this video and help him explain the unexplained. Okay, so he's returning home with his friends, but the roads are very dark and soon they become completely lost. They are already going slow to look for road signs when a speed bump slows them down even more. That's when they capture on camera a mysterious figure in white walking up ahead. At first they are excited because they think he will be able to give them directions to get back home, but the mysterious figure instead does not say a word or even acknowledge them, staring straight the whole time. Tell me what's being said during this short interaction in case I'm missing anything important.
भैया सही तो है ना आदमी? पूछो
भैया
भैया भैया क्या हो गया क्या हुआ क्या हुआ?
Something about the man is extremely off-putting and instantly gives this YouTuber the impulse to get away fast. After a while, however, they figure there's no harm in trying to ask for directions from him a second time, and so they turn around. But here's where things get weird. They go to where he last was sighted, only to find...
था तो सही ना पैदल चलता हुआ इंसान mysterious.
That the mysterious figure has completely vanished, and it's not like a lot of time has gone by or anything like that. They encounter the strange silent man, keep going for another 20 seconds, turn around, and then drive back for another 20 seconds to where he just was. So not even a minute has passed before the figure mysteriously disappears. Assuming this was a person and not a spirit, he could have seen the motorcycle turning around and got scared, so he found somewhere to hide. But here's the thing, I never told you where they were returning from. They had spent the day at the Bangar Fort, which is said to be of the most haunted places in all of India, so maybe this was a ghost sighting of something paranormal that was following them home. I mean, walking around in the middle of the night in total darkness is weird. Not stepping off the road when a vehicle approaches is even weirder, and staring straight ahead when someone calls for your attention is just bizarre. So maybe it was a ghost on video after all. If you're thinking of taking your motorbike down a dark, mainly deserted road at night, you'd better be ready for what comes next. Published to YouTube by Mumbiker Nikhil. To YouTube in December of 2014, another strange sighting was spotted while riding on a cold night. The uploader writes, I was passing by Airy Colony after midnight, and I would like to share the scary incident which took place. He notes in the video that the area is known for its ghost stories and scary people who lurk nearby. Nikhil says he wasn't sure if what he saw was a thief or a ghost, but whatever it was scary. Thieves and ghosts aren't the only scary things about Airy Colony. Located in India's Sanjay Gandhi National Park, Wikipedia warns against traveling the deciduous forest between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. as there are many feral pigs, stray dogs, and even leopards in the thick vegetation along the lonely roads. Worse, life takings are not uncommon in the area. Neither are occult practices. Ghost stories are widely circulated, with many claiming that spirits have tried to hitch rides in the night in this area. So yeah, why not take a ride down it? Though it is late, vehicles pass Nikhil by as he rides down the dark road. There are even people standing on the shoulder at some points. As he continues driving, darkness envelopes until he sees a man walking strangely in the middle of the road. He cries out as he almost collides with the man. But when he turns around, no one is there at all. He said he turned out of curiosity, but then realized the guy could be a thief, though he didn't see him anywhere in the darkness, so he sped off to live another day, and he says he's never returning to the area again after midnight. Would you? Based on what Wikipedia said, it's not a good idea. A YouTuber named Ben S is low on gas, so he pulls into a nearby station. He always wears a GoPro helmet when riding, and as he is fumbling with the card reader at the pump, it records something that he will have a tough time explaining later. A shadow passes by close enough to make Ben react. He turns around only to find nothing. What's really strange to me is how, if you pay close attention, you'll see the shadow disappear before it even makes it all the way across the pump. It's going from left to right normally and then suddenly vanishes somewhere in the middle. I know that shadows can sometimes play tricks on you, so I'm not going to say that this is 100% paranormal. If you have a scientific explanation as to how this could have happened, please share. Until then, I am inclined to take Ben's word that this was a phantom figure. Christian Garcia and a couple of his friends are riding around on a motorcycle late at night through the streets of Mexico and are enjoying their night when suddenly they come across something absolutely terrifying and startling on the road. Right here. This seems to just be a really sort of like isolated road in the middle of nowhere. It's clearly nighttime, and this individual is just sitting out here staring off into the distance. I wish they would have asked if they needed help. Instead, just sort of take off. But I guess they do decide they should turn around, which is the right thing to do, so respect to these guys.
Hola, señora. ¿Qué dice? ¿Qué? ¿Quién es? ¿Qué le pasa?
¿Cómo se llama?
¿Cómo se llama? Está en medio de la nada, ¿no? ¿Le pasa algo?
If anybody who speaks Spanish could please translate what was said in this conversation, but I assume they were asking if they were all right, to which they get no response from the stranger, and I think eventually just decide, yes, to just take off.
¿Le pasa algo?
Even when Christian and his friends drive back to where the mysterious stranger is sitting down on the side of the road, it doesn't really seem as though they are trying to talk to her too much, and I guess it makes sense because she is a complete stranger, and you never know exactly what a stranger is capable of. I just hope this person is okay and isn't suffering from any problems, but if they are, I hope they will be okay in due time. Sometimes anger comes in the form of a crazy woman guarding her property. For YouTuber Jack Z in May of 2018, this was the case. Jack explains that he and his friends were riding along a trail they'd never explored. It led to a stranger's property, but it wasn't clear that they were on private property, as there weren't signs or fences around it. And in the video, it really doesn't appear private. It looks like a forest, a free-for-all. According to Jack, as they were heading out, a woman came out of nowhere and started confronting them.
I'm sorry, get off!
I'm sick and tired of you, bull!
This is the first time I'm here!
Bull! You guys are here all the time,
No, it's
scaring
not
my horses!
Grabbing hold of Jack's backpack to throw him off balance, which led him to busting his brake on a downed tree that was in front of him. As he climbs out from under his bike, she can be heard screaming at his friends as well. She then gets in his face, saying that him and his friends are there every weekend on her private property, scaring her horses. Jack writes, "Moral of the story is to be careful of what trails you choose to follow. It seems to me that this chilling event was just one big misunderstanding, and I hope this woman doesn't choose to act this way in similar future situations." Number 9. Intruder alert. A young boy is watching television by himself and starts making a video for fun. After a while, he needs to do something in another room, so he puts the phone down for just a minute and accidentally records this creeper at his window. Someone peeks through the window multiple times over the course of a minute, I think those might be metal bars on the windows, so maybe this area has been dealing with break-ins, in which case there was about to be another. Then again, this strange floating orb appears as soon as the figure disappears, so maybe this is some kind of paranormal intruder instead. A YouTuber named Jack Williams is hanging out in the basement with his friends when the radio on the top floor comes on at full volume. They stand outside of the house for a while and then decide to go back inside.
Oh god.
Where's it coming from?
From the parents' room.
All of them rush inside at once. Soon they start to think it could just be the radio somehow messing up and turning on by itself, but one of them isn't so sure.
I swear to God I heard something in there. I swear.
They spend some time checking under the bed and other areas, but there's just one place they didn't check thoroughly enough. Maybe it's just me, but this large pile of blankets seems to have a suspiciously human-shaped lump in the middle. Take a look at this part and let me know if you think the person could have been hiding in there or not. An invasion of the home is violating enough, but what happens when the invader is a squatter? Posted by Slav Gavin to the Chills Narrator subreddit. This video was originally published to YouTube by Chino Sky Blue in April of 2017, who explains, "When I opened my front door, there was a girl squatting in my apartment.
I'm sorry, Devin.
I had been renting the apartment since March 1st, but had not been staying there. On Friday, April 14th, when I entered my apartment to retrieve some clothes, this was who was in my apartment." At the beginning of the video, the woman in question runs up to the man filming, saying she didn't know she wasn't supposed to be here. She asks if he's going to show anyone this video, and he responds that he's calling the authorities. As the man continues to film, the woman says she doesn't want to get caught up in this, whatever that means, and claims she doesn't remember the previous night and just woke up here. She asks the man not to hold her there, but the man insists that she stay to explain to the authorities what's going on. She starts to panic, but he says he's not pressing charges against her.
I want you to stay here for the police when the police do call. But listen, I'm recording everything. I'm giving you my word that I just want you to explain it to the police, but I'm not trying to press no charges against you.
The only one he has a problem with is whoever has allowed her here. While the girl steps outside, claiming she doesn't know what's going on. That's where the video ends. We'd sure like an update on what happened after this, why this girl was squatting here, who let her in, and what happened as a result. But the channel hasn't posted any further videos. Does anyone have any idea what's going on here? Some in the comments think the man handled the situation well. Others suggest she's crazy and he should be more cautious with the situation. But YouTuber Macron435 perhaps has the most interesting theory. He writes, "Plot twist, that's her house." Just outside your door is very rarely a good thing, especially when they're these two fools. Ring posted this creepy video to Facebook in 2017. The video shows two strange men knocking on the front door of a home. The homeowner, away at work, is able to check in and see the men, whom she doesn't know. When they notice her security camera, the pair suspiciously bolt away. They return to their vehicle and back out of the drive, only to, a minute later, return, open the door, and literally try to kick it in. The homeowner, seeing their arrival from afar, attempts to speak to them over the security system, informing them that the cops are on their way.
Cops are on their way.
After failing to kick the door in, the men return to their vehicle and hastily drive off again. Facebooker Stay Hodgkin notes that these two people wouldn't have been reprimanded for merely knocking, but then they decided to return when they knew a security camera was posted up and committed property damage. Not bright in the least. Ring relays a very satisfying conclusion to this video, writing, "Although Kay was at work when these two visitors came by, she was able to share her Ring video with her neighbors online and ultimately confirm their identities. The information was passed along to the police, and they caught the guys. Now that's the perfect example of a neighborhood watch." A YouTuber named Tobias Project checks his home security camera and is surprised to find his neighbor climbing his stairs to access the roof. Notice how he stops at the top of the stairs to make sure no one is home. It's pretty obvious that he knows he doesn't belong. He looks inside the window for an extended period of time and then calls no less than 3 friends, one of which is carrying a case of glass bottle beverages. I'm not sure exactly what they were doing here, but apparently they later told Tobias Project that they were working on a movie when he confronted them. I didn't see any camera equipment, so I doubt that is the real reason. Let me know if you think they were scoping out his place or just trying to party. There's an older man who's looking out the window at Jacob Hessler and his friend, and it's freaking them out how he keeps leaving the spot and coming back to stare some more.
He's looking over. He's looking over. And now he walks away.
Some people suggest that the old man is simply looking at them because they were looking at him, and that they should just leave him alone. But this scenario still requires the old man to look out of his window in the middle of the night to notice they were there in the first place, which is odd. Maybe they were being loud or something, but the way they keep their voices low makes me think they were probably being quiet the whole time. So as it stands, this is a mysterious exchange without words and without explanation. Have you ever felt like you were being watched? Published to YouTube by Mo Vlogs in July of 2018. This CCTV footage will spook even the bravest among us. While most of this video is super upbeat, about 10 minutes in is where the terror enters. It's then that Mo claims that he was being watched the day prior while taping his vlog, and he has the CCTV footage to prove it. He says there was a spooky person in a mask following him all day. Although Mo admits he thinks it was a prank, he pulls up the CCTV footage of this spooky lurker to show viewers what he had to contend with. The lurker appears to be wearing a black hooded robe and a white mask, walking at a gilded gate. He is seen crossing a parking lot, though it's not clear from whence he came from or where he is going. Mo says the footage was filmed that morning, not the day prior, so he surmises that the only person the lurker could be is his security guard or his mom. Prank or not, this haunting image is sure to give you nightmares. Fearless Fox X has his bravery put to the test when a creepy stranger returns to his house for a second time in one night. Listen for the scary voice in the background.
Just looking at it, and she was like talking for herself, and she was there for like at least 10 minutes, and then she went to my brother's car, and she's just saying all kinds of crazy stuff and talking to herself.
Camera in hand, he creeps up on the stranger to see what else can be caught on video for all to see.
Wow, this is creeping me out, dude. She's like shaking her head around and moving her arms like she's being possessed.
The closer he gets, the quieter the stranger becomes. The darkness grows still, tense, and he dares not turn on his light.
I'm scared.
He makes a bold assumption that this person is completely clueless about where he is, but the mysterious figure is more self-aware than any of us could have ever imagined.
I have no idea, I'm right behind her.
He decides to go home quick, and we never get a closer look at the mysterious figure in the darkness. It's the middle of the night, and Anna Grayson keeps hearing heavy thumping sounds coming from the hallway. She spends a full minute walking around to make sure that everybody is asleep, which they are. As soon as she gets back into her room, the house becomes extremely still and suspenseful. I get the sensation of being watched here, do you? Anna does not feel safe at all, peeks under the door, probably half expecting to see shoes on the other side. She doesn't see that, but what she experiences next indeed confirms her suspicions. The fact that she patrols the entire house and hears nothing until the moment she steps back into her room makes me think that someone else is in the house with Anna and her family, something that will patiently wait until everyone's guard is down to strike. A man in Coimbatore, India, is captured skulking around numerous neighborhoods, and in each video his eyes are pure white. Here he is looking in through someone's window when he suddenly senses the camera and turns around to reveal the same blank white eyes as before, eyes with no traces of emotion or any color in the middle. Some people take the white eyes as evidence of an evil spirit acting within him, but I think more realistically it's probably just a camera with night vision. Either way, hopping over a fence to look at strangers hanging out in their own home is beyond creepy and makes me want to look over my shoulder right now to check my window. Hopefully he is caught soon before he takes it to the next level and climbs inside. Most bad guys see a security camera and think twice, but Jason Chekhov thinks that this one was attracted to his house specifically because of it, which he can get some money for if he can manage to get away. There's no doubt that he stops and looks directly at the camera at 9 seconds into the video. It's such an abrupt and dramatic turn that some people think the whole thing is fake, and that this person whose face is fully covered is none other than Jason Chekhov himself trying to get some views. I would agree that this could be a possibility, if not for the lengths of which the person is willing to go through to get inside. First they put one arm under the other and try to wedge it open with force. Then they just try to open it the good old-fashioned way and give the glass 3 solid elbows. Finally, they try to simply pinch and lift, painfully snapping back their fingernail from the sound of it. The point is, I really doubt Jason Chekhov would have risked messing up his windows or his fingers trying to break his way in, though I could be wrong. Think your possessions are safe right outside your home? This series of videos will have you second guessing that. The uploader explains that the first video occurred on a Saturday night in June of 2019. It shows 2 women on the balcony of a house, innocently looking through a shoe cubby. After checking out a couple pairs, they suddenly race from the balcony. Apparently this isn't their home, and they aren't supposed to be there. These same brazen ladies return in the second video. It appears they felt the need to trespass further. One of the women returns to the balcony, strolling across it at ease. That is, until she notices the security camera posted up in the corner. She laughs and covers her face, quickly leaving the balcony. It's not clear if these intruders made off with anything from the apartment, but Kaziem asks viewers to spread the word. If not thieves, it's still creepy to imagine strangers lurking right outside your front door at night. Number 8. Caught on security camera. Ghosts appear in the unlikeliest of places. Published to YouTube in February of 2012, Mad Mup writes, "This is actual unedited security camera footage recorded by myself using my phone. The gate captured in the security footage is locked with a padlock. According to Mad Mup, the padlock was firmly locked 5 minutes earlier, and someone working in the warehouse had gone to the keys, and then this happened. The CCTV footage shows the gate being pushed roughly, then you can see the padlock unlocking and twisting open on its own, allowing the gates to swing wide. There's absolutely no one around. Is this the work of a warehouse ghost who just doesn't want to punch out, or is it something not paranormal altogether? But it seems like it just can't be explained to me." A Facebook user named Andrea Collins believes one of her security cameras caught a ghost late in the afternoon on March 22nd of this year. And after taking a look at the evidence for myself, I think she's right. Ordinarily, I would say that this is a bug crawling across the camera, except in this case, it looks like a little ghost girl with a white dress and long black hair. It's also positioned perfectly in the middle of the screen, exactly where a human would stand. So my bet is that this is an apparition seeking help, or at least some attention. And if this is what Andrea sees in her yard, then chances are her house is haunted too. Bernie DMJ1 is deleting security cam videos off his Ring app when he sees something really bizarre walk across his driveway. Or rather, it's what he doesn't see, the presence of a reflection but the lack of a body to cause it. A shadow passes in front of the car and yet no one can be seen. He says this is a ghost or a shadow figure sighting for certain, but I'd like to offer a non-paranormal explanation. Maybe this is the shadow of someone across the street. Things aren't what they seem in this scary video. Redditor Amanda Loves Rufus 1 posted this clip of her neighbor's house. Watch the counter closely. Something neon blue seems to escape from the counter. Watch again. It looks like a flame bursting upward, but it disappears within an instant. Those in the comments seem to agree, with some saying it looks like gas igniting. Could this be a gas leak? Or as others suggest, a camera glitch? I think these homeowners should check their carbon monoxide and gas detectors, just in case. After hearing a sound during the night, YouTuber Jojo Lobster checked their backyard security camera in the morning. This is what they captured. Watch the back right. A figure walks past. Jojo Lobster labels it a girl, but I'm not sure if we can make that assumption. The image is too blurry to identify the figure. I don't know if we can say for certain if it's a ghost or not. Well, there are plenty of questions with this one. I would say there's something there for sure, but a spirit or alive? We'll never know. If this isn't a haunted house noise, it should be. Redditor Full Caregiver 5287 posted his Wise security camera footage to Reddit, wondering if anyone had theories as to what this noise is. As you can see by the timestamp, the noise occurred at around 3 in the morning, but he writes in the comments that it happens randomly every so often, and this isn't the only creepy thing going on in their home. In another post, the Redditor shares this footage of his daughter having a panic attack in the middle of the night. His daughter said she saw a shadow person in her room. Well, the first piece of footage can be explained away as old pipes screaming, accompanied by the second clip. It's harder to deny that there might be something darker going on here. Did the daughter see a shadow figure? Or was she woken by whatever is screaming? Miss ROCIO 4441 published this haunting video in June of 2011, alleging a ghost at the local McDonald's who appeared there at night between 2:30 and 2:50 a.m. In the video, you can certainly see what appears to be a shadow floating around the restaurant. According to the YouTuber, the security camera only turns on when it captures movement. One person in the comments claims to work at this very McDonald's. Ya boy dad 916 said, I work night shifts in this store and I get the creeps all the time. Viewers disputed this video as well though, while some saying it could be a bug on the lens. I don't know though, but watching the shadow move around this footage certainly gives me the creeps. Could it be a past customer or McDonald's employee who passed away at this restaurant? I guess we'll never know. Published by El Paso, yeah. What did this garage's security camera capture in the cover of darkness? This mysterious figure breezes past, but from what I can make out, the stiff way it moves does not look human. Let's take a closer look. Its form too appears inhuman. Even considering the low quality of the camera, this doesn't look like any type of kid or animal I've ever seen. I'm fairly certain it's extraterrestrial. Do you have any theories? After receiving a motion alarm on their cabin's porch camera, Redditor Into the Dark WMe reviewed the footage and noticed this. A black mist drifts out of the cabin. A moment later, it looks like a bright light turns on straight ahead toward the woods. The Redditor says there is no street lamp or any other type of bright lights on the property. They ask Reddit for an explanation, and they offer some. Many disagree with the bug theory and say it looks like smoke, maybe it's a swarm of bugs, but the bright light has me considering extraterrestrials. What do you think is going on here? Redditor Wayne Bruce 11 was wondering why the TV was on in the morning and on a channel no one in the household ever watched. That's when he checked his security camera. It captured this at around 3 in the morning. Something has turned on the news. Well, I think this could definitely just be a connection or technical problem. The Redditor says they've been dealing with this ghost for 15 years. At least, the ghost's worst roommate faux pas is only late night TV watching. Two men go into an internet cafe early in the morning with a few pro tools and the worst of intentions. Hardly anyone is there, and even if the place were busy, it wouldn't matter because they've got their routine down to a science. They pick 2 seats midway down so as not to look obvious. One of them acts like they're going online, but what he's really doing is helping to cover the movements of his friend, who has already unscrewed the casing of the computer and is now working on the floor bolts that are holding it down. There's a wall on his side, so if you worked there, it would be like he was digging through a backpack or something. Something walks by them at 28 seconds and is too busy on their phone to notice what they're up to. They act like they are looking at something on the same screen as the entire uncased computer gets put into a large plastic bag. They put the empty computer case back to make it look like nothing is out of place. They can't just walk out of there with a big obvious computer-shaped plastic bag, so they take it into the bathroom and dismantle the computer for valuable spare parts and throw the rest in the trash. The clerk has no idea what they've done, not even glancing up as they briskly walk out with top-of-the-line video cards, RAM, and other hardware to sell. Clearly, this isn't their first time, but this time they were caught on camera. Dominic Mancuso has been involved in an ongoing feud over something he doesn't even understand. All he knows is that his neighbors are apparently obsessed with watching him and making him feel as uncomfortable as possible. It's all part of a 6-part series that spans over the course of months. Very little of their behavior makes any sense. When Dominic enough and confronts his neighbors, this is apparently all they have to say.
Well,
The strange laughter coming from Dominic's neighbor is both creepy and slightly concerning at the same time. His neighbor ducks under the fence and keeps bothering him later in weird new ways. By the end of it, Dominic still has no idea what his neighbors want from him. And quite frankly, neither do I. Number 7. Chilling videos from Mexico. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez visits the most haunted house in Guadalajara, Mexico, and what he witnesses there will send chills down your spine.
¿Escuchan todo eso? ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
What was that noise? Listen again. These voices or whispers are deeply unsettling, and along with the visual evidence of a figure captured by the Kinect, I think this place is for sure haunted.
¡Wow! No puedo creerlo. Muchas gracias.
After a while, the figure suddenly disappears.
¿Por esto querías que viniera?
But they leave their voice behind.
¿Cómo te puedo ayudar, amigo? ¿Qué pasa?
This house in Guadalajara sure lives up to its reputation. To me, there seems like plenty of proof here that the place is the city's most haunted. Ghost towns are abandoned for a reason. Published to YouTube by Ricky Velasquez in May of 2020. Ricky claims the devil appeared, writing in Spanish. I have no words to describe what happened. I don't think I can forget. This was filmed in a town in Mexico with around 250 residents. It's ostensibly a ghost town, and the duo's exploration of it is enough to run you out of town too. After doing some sort of ritual in the yard, outside an abandoned building, involving liquid being sprayed and fire being lit, the pair wanders around the grounds. As the cameraman takes in the surroundings in infrared mode, he spots something that gives him a fright. He decides to get out of there, hurrying down a dirt path. That's when he happens upon this. El Diablo disappears, but you can still feel him there. It's no wonder Ricky cannot forget. Moral of the story, if you call him, he will come. A family is being frightened by a ghostly apparition somewhere in Mexico, and this is the moment they finally see it.
Se abrió. Espérate, cálmate. ¿Hay alguien ahí?
The side of someone's face peers out from within the closet, but when they go to check where it just was, it's gone.
Dinos. Alúzame. Espera. Espérate, alúzame.
There definitely was something in there, because you can see its face push up against a shirt. However, at 36 seconds, there may be an editing cut when the camera is covered. This could be where they stop recording, let him out the closet, and start recording again. In Mexico, a security guard was making his rounds at a store when he captured these paranormal manifestations on camera. First, he sees this spooky cart playing mind games.
Cabrón. Ahí está la primera cosa. No mames.
He later enters what appears to be a storage room, and the mannequins attack.
Sí, normalmente es. Casi toda la basura es de aquí, de Soriana. Oh, no, que te... No mames.
He continues his tour when a scary Santa starts to dance.
Hola amigo, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? No vengo a molestarte.
A ver, vamos a acercarnos poquito. No, se me da quiz.
Well, this one is clearly automated. What triggered it? The guard leaves the room and returns, and again Santa comes to life and then jumps ship.
No manches. Oh. Ay, qué pedo, no manches.
What do you make of this creepy series of events? In my opinion, while the automated Santa may have just been malfunctioning, the shopping cart and mannequin are harder to dismiss. We've all heard about miracles, but sometimes you just gotta see to believe. So let's see. A-Dimensional Paranormal published this video in August of 2016, writing in Spanish. Recorded by a person in the chapel of the Saltillo Cathedral in Mexico. The clip opens on the inside of a dark chapel with only a few candles lit and some low lights surrounding the statue above an altar. Low church chanting can be heard in the background. At first glance, a close-up of the statue appears to reveal nothing out of the ordinary, but upon closer inspection, the closed eyes of a statue glare open eerily. Watch it again. Did it give you chills? Is this a miracle or something else? You decide. Personally, I think it'd be hard to fake with the camera moving so much, which makes me think it's real. Nobody is sure what the US forces are doing in this 2014 video taken from an undisclosed location somewhere in New Mexico apparently. Soldiers kneel down as a blast rips through the air. It looks like it hits nothing at all, but then the edges of the ripple inward to reveal what could be the outline of a giant round invisible creature. Some people are claiming this is simply a drill using new technology we don't know about. Others say that this is not an exercise at all, but rather a real desert battle with a creature. Listen to the noise it makes and tell me if you think this is the sound of a passing fighter jet or the terrifying roar of a real monster.
Dash for good hits.
This one will get you all kinds of nervous. According to the video, paranormal events have occurred in Guadalajara, Mexico, when a tourist was visiting the cathedral, where the saint lays. The young child's eyes opened. According to the website, La Oscura Habitación, the video was taken on December 12, 2012. The tourist who took the video footage on his cell phone claimed that he hadn't witnessed the child's eyes open at the time, but only saw it afterwards in viewing the video. The stories of how this saint became martyred are contradictory. Some stories call into question whether this is even the saint, as it's stated that all the reliquaries that remain of her are her skeletal hands. Whether this is the saint or not, the mystery begins and ends here. The girl is clearly past, has been for many years, and yet she's opening her eyes. YouTuber Johnny Paranormal 74 writes that they caught this on Alonzo's live earlier this evening. The live stream was captured in an empty mausoleum in Mexico. Let's take a look.
¿Escuchas? ¿En qué parte estás? ¿Lo viste?
Se cerró todo. Pensé que iba a tronar.
Se cerró la puerta. ¿Hay alguien ahí? Se cerró la puerta, Clary.
When he looks inside, you can see there's nobody there.
A ver qué es lo que hay adentro. La puerta está cerrada, mire. La puerta está cerrada. Bien nomás. Tengo que abrir más.
Do you see what I see? If not, you're about to hear it.
Dime, estás aquí. Mira, otra vez, ¿lo viste? Alguien está dentro, Clary.
Did you hear that? I'm sure you did, because as I see it, this is one of the most scary videos you'll ever see. Two fishermen cast their reels into the Gulf of Mexico without a care in the world. 20 minutes later, they only have one care in the world: getting out alive. The pair finds themselves caught in the middle of a giant storm system gathering overhead. Going backwards means traveling in the same direction as the storm, so the only thing left to do is charge deeper into the storm and hope to come out the other side in one piece. The storm hasn't even begun yet, and you can see the waves are almost coming into the boat already. They need to hurry if they ever want to see dry land again. The storm gets worse and worse until they can barely tell the sky apart from the sea. Everything is just a big swirling mass of gray with absolutely no visibility, except for the occasional crack of lightning to illuminate their path for a few precious seconds at a time. If things get any worse, their tiny boat will surely capsize under the crushing waves. Finally, after an hour of riding, they emerge from the traveling storm and return to blue skies. You can tell that they are truly safe because they can stand fully upright again. This footage captured some bizarre unidentified flying objects over Mexico City in May of 2009. Let's take a look.
Ahora vamos a ver las mismas imágenes, Pedro, pero en cámara lenta. Mira, ahí podemos ver algo que tú no viste en primera instancia. Decenas de esferas que van saliendo en ambas direcciones.
The orderly linear lights disperse. From there, things get chaotic.
El objeto como da de vueltas, luego estas como llegan a darle, mira, aquí en cámara lenta las vemos. Caramba, hombre. Una de ellas, veo, se le da la vuelta completa y se va, ¿no? Evidentemente que es un...
Still, they seem to be traveling in sync. A closer look shows they're blazing. Then they get lost in the clouds.
Salen esas cantidades de esferas, no, la verdad... ya es otra cuestión, ¿no? Ya dices, caray, esto sí me dejó también así como a ti impactado, ¿no?
Mira, lo más extraordinario para mí, bueno, tuviste suerte al grabar.
Soon they're back in an orderly line again.
Te bajas del camión, lo sigues, lo tomas, mira nada más, mira qué imágenes, caramba, y es en ambas direcciones, entonces nadie puede decir que es un racimo de globos que se va deshaciendo, salen en ambas direcciones.
Well, some say this is an optical illusion, others call it the best UFO evidence they've ever seen. I also think it's quite compelling. It looks like a mothership hatching smaller aircraft. Published to YouTube by Vision Paranormal in August of 2018. The channel writes in Spanish that an unidentified sense of fear was pressing upon employees at some government office in Mexico City. Some claim to have seen a monk on the grounds. The channel writes, always at dawn you can hear wailing and screaming until one day the security camera managed to capture that chilling being that scared them every night. Let's take a look. This image was captured in September of 2009 at 1:46 a.m. It appears to be a hooded paranormal figure descending the stairs and moving very slowly through the building. Could this be the so-called cursed monk who's creating such fear within? If so, what did he do to provoke such wailing and screaming? What you don't know can't hurt you, right? This is purportedly the most haunted house in Guadalajara, Mexico. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez dares to enter, but he will soon regret it. As he tours the place, he spots this.
Una noche loca. Las personas que estuvieron en esa transmisión... Perro, ¿qué es eso? No mames.
Did you see that figure? As he continues throughout the home, it seems to be stalking him.
Wait. ¿Quién eres? Da la vida.
Wherever he goes, it follows.
Pues muéstrate, no seas cobarde. Muéstrate. A la vida. No mames. No, tranquilo.
Is someone there?
And death is repeated.
Ricky keeps hearing noises, like someone is just out of sight.
¿Ha entrado sobre esto? No manches. ¿Qué fue eso?
After hearing humming during a spirit box session, things get wild.
No. Whoa. No.
I think this home is definitely haunted, but by what? I'm not so sure. Number 6. Basement encounters.
Alright guys, I'm gonna show you one of the reasons we hate this house.
There's a YouTuber named Not Your Average Wife, who apparently does not live in your average home either. Her dog Catherine absolutely refuses to go down the steps leading to their basement. Follow the dog's eyes because I think it might be seeing something down there that none of us can.
Catherine, come on baby. Come on pretty. Come on baby.
Not even a nudge from behind can convince Catherine to go down the stairs.
Come on Catherine.
And just to prove it's not a general fear of steps, they show her using different stairs without a problem. Maybe the dog almost fell down basement steps or something, and is now afraid of them. At least, that's the only non-paranormal explanation I can think of. And if it is paranormal, based on how Catherine is acting, it must be something sinister in that basement. A man finally feels like he's caught paranormal evidence of his haunted basement.
Guys, I'm just cooking some food, watching the game today. I was just down in my basement, and the scariest thing that happened to me, I was down there and... Holy, did you guys just see that? You guys saw that I just had those plates right there.
When he looks at the home security system, this sweeping shadow figure is what he's caught on tape. I'm not sure what to make of this, because the thought of seeing a shadow person in the basement is really creepy. This shadow figure could be CGI, but the uploader hasn't said a word. If so, do you think it's real? Scary scratching from within the basement should alarm anyone. Some would call for help while others would grab their phone, not for help but to make sure whatever's down there is caught on camera. That's what two roommates do after one hears noises in a hidden crawl space of their home.
It could have been anything though.
Nah, I was scared, man. I heard noises. Go move this way.
Feel scary cat, dude. It could have been rats or whatever. What about it? We got a whole bunch of rats.
The one who hasn't heard the noises is brave. The one who has is scared.
Are you going down there?
Hell no.
There's a light right there, dude. You go down there while I record.
There's no way he's going down into the creepy basement crawl space after hearing eerie sounds, so his roommate volunteers to show him up.
Like, the light right there, the string. It's around here somewhere.
Open the lights, can't.
Hold up. I can't reach. Can't reach. I think I gotta step on that chair. There's a chair right here to...
He squints in the darkness, and that's when he finds the scariest thing of his life.
What a... Oh shit! What's that?
1 minute and 27 seconds is when I can barely make out a shadow figure straightening up to greet him. He's screaming and the video ends before we get to see if he escapes from the crawl space before it reaches him. The man sees a ghost hiding in his basement according to the title of this video, but I'm not so sure the supernatural is what he's caught on camera. Something scary is in his basement crawl space for sure, but think about it.
Can't reach. I think I gotta step on that chair. There's a chair right here to...
Why would there be a chair positioned directly under his crawl space entrance, unless somebody has been using it to climb into their home? I don't think this is a ghost haunting the basement. I think this is an insanely scary stranger encounter caught on video. Anyway, that's my analysis, but what do you make of this strange sighting? A YouTuber named Advil thinks he is alone until he hears voices off in the distance. He soon finds himself drawn to the stairs leading down into the basement for reasons he cannot explain. Something just feels out of place down there, but he isn't sure what. He calls out and gets an incredibly strange and eerie reply from the darkness below. Maybe if you are wearing headphones, you can tell me what is being said here. It almost sounds like they are whispering, "He's here."
Hello?
Moments later, Advil receives an undeniable confirmation that something is in the house with him. A dark figure somehow stands out against the pitch black background as it crosses the doorway. It makes no attempt to go up the steps and reveal its true form. If this is real, then whatever is down there apparently wants to stay down there, and possibly one day take Advil with him. Okay, so this isn't a video per se, but it was too eerie to pass up. This was recorded around 10 years ago in a home in Philadelphia. The family kept hearing noises coming from the basement, so they decided to hire a paranormal team who placed a recorder down there and waited. Nothing happened for 3 days, and then at 3:12 a.m. they recorded this. The horrible recording continues to go on and on, seemingly forever. No video evidence was ever produced, but these possibly paranormal screams will continue to live on YouTube for years to come. This is some serious EMF gone wrong. Published by Dark Life in March of 2022, Dennis held an EMF session in the basement of this old house in which girls are said to have gone missing. After spending some time in the basement, he hears something in the wardrobe. As he reaches toward it, the wardrobe starts to rock aggressively. Dennis runs from it, and in doing so appears to hurt his leg amongst all the rubbish in the basement. He looks back for a moment but decides it's best to leave the house. And after seeing this shell of a haunted home, wouldn't you? Take a look at this quick clip of another possible shadow person in someone's basement and tell me if you think it's real. If you think it's computer effects, then please tell me exactly what clued you in. I personally see valid arguments on both sides.
And there is literally sounds coming in my basement right now, and it's freaking me out. Kids are upstairs asleep, and I'm gonna go down and check right now. This is freaky right now because I rarely go in my basement. It's an unfinished basement.
A YouTuber named An Everyday Canadian has been afraid of his basement ever since he recorded an incident that he cannot explain.
Oh, what the f is that sound?
Fear grips his throat, but he knows what he must do. He'll never know what's causing the scary noises if his only reaction is to stand in the doorway. He knows he will be going down the stairs into the basement where a scary thing is waiting to be found.
Like, I don't even want to go down there. It's f***ing dark. Hold on, guys. Let me just get my light on here quick. This is freaking me out.
He thought the only thing scarier than going down there would be not knowing what it was. He was wrong.
I hate basements. My laundry machine just stopped. It's just me in the basement. What the f was that? What the
Sometimes the source of a weird noise in your house is scarier than you can imagine. Sometimes going down in your basement results in witnessing paranormal activity that you wish you could erase from your camera and from your mind. And sometimes it's a toy on a string. A YouTuber named Chastity Pineda TV has a haunted basement. As this paranormal video shows, her camera detects motion at 2:52 a.m., but she can't see anything, only the sound of ghost footsteps. And 8 minutes later is when this 3 a.m. paranormal experience is archived for her to look at later. She puts the camera in a different spot, and on another night, 11:45 to be precise, she catches the swing in motion with all of the lights on, and at 2:20 the next afternoon, the swing is moving on its own and something new happens. Listen again. Did you hear the creepy kid's voice when the stick falls? That's an old walking stick they're interacting with, by the way. Perhaps this object is what's causing these events. YouTuber David DeFranco dramatically descends the stairs into his dingy cement brick basement, saying after 4 years of wondering what's in that room, it's time. With a cat as his bodyguard, David notes that it's 10:49 p.m. Not sure why you'd choose to explore a hidden room at night, but David's got grit. He notes that he's always wondered what's in this hidden room, and that his cat has explored it several times and seen some serious stuff. So David is curious and nervous. It's probably nothing, but you can't help but wonder, he says, using his night vision camera. He moves the piece of plywood, blocking the hole in the wall, out of the way, and he enters. He calls the place creepy before asking hello to no one in particular. It looks like another crawl space, but there are some intriguing bits and pieces inside. An old bottle, newspaper, dripping pipe, small plastic containers, comics from the Philadelphia Inquirer date back to April 1st, 2001. So someone has been down in the crawl space not too long ago. David recalls hearing noises coming from the crawl space. While David didn't discover anything epic beneath his home, he did at least explore it before moving out. Is this a random draft or something much more concerning? Whatever it is, Redditor LFUCULOKINASE is weirded out enough that they keep having to lock their door. Take a look. Did something just come upstairs? This has got to be the creepiest stairway I've ever laid eyes on. I would stay far away. I'm pretty sure it descends to the fiery depths below. Creepy lights in a dark basement, a sure sign that something in your house has gone wrong. A YouTuber named The Drum Player 101 has a quick clip of something strange caught on camera.
Lately I've been seeing and hearing weird things in my basement. Let's go check it out.
Oh. What? Go.
Glowing eyes look back at them from within the darkness, and the two scared brothers run away. When they return for a second, they find it's still there, a small creature low to the ground with large, unblinking eyes. They say it's a ghost, but it could be a fake video using their pet cat. I thought it was weird of them to keep their cat in the basement, in the dark, but I looked it up, and sometimes they do like curling up in small, isolated spaces. At 13 seconds, it looks like the animal is raising its head like it was taking a nap. Cat eyes can reflect a large array of colors, and blue, while not as common, is not unheard of, so I don't believe this video is real. With that said, this video of creepy eyes watching you from the darkness could help explain all of the other similar videos like it. Number 5. Poltergeist captures. Maybe To the Ghosts Were the Scary Ones, published by Paranormal Boys in September of 2021. This unexpected poltergeist activity scared this crew to their wits' end. The short clip shows everyone panicking as a foundry door opens of its own accord. They all scream as they watch the door stand ajar for a moment before slowly closing again. Did this paranormal crew just scare the living daylights out of a ghost? As YouTuber Jojo Cannon writes, I bet that ghost was like WTF dudes. I couldn't agree more. An instructor records himself and his students for a teacher evaluation. He's giving a lecture about safety when some strange activities start to happen.
About what dangers might we... Oh, Stephen, don't do that, please. It's distracting.
That's one thing. Someone give me another one then. Strangers.
I'll just move down this hole.
Right. What we're gonna do, we need to. I tell you what, guys. Let's just go out for a minute.
By now, the class is in mild shock as they awkwardly line up and leave. According to the description of this video, later on they would say that they felt a strange static electricity in the air and a tingling sensation in their faces. After they leave, the possible haunting seems to continue for quite some time. Finally, the camera is knocked to the ground by an unseen force and the video ends. Mysterious footage of a strange event caught on CCTV leaves one man wondering if they live in a haunted house when a bookshelf purges itself of reading materials in the dark of night. Soon afterwards, the door opens and a man looks into the empty hallway like he's seen a ghost. Judging from his timid reaction, thrown objects are a classic sign of poltergeist activity. However, some people in the comments say this was done with strings. There's one book that falls in the opposite direction as the rest. Is this simple physics or another sign from the paranormal? Some poltergeists are gentle, others are vicious. Published by Find Ghost in November of 2021, the uploader of this video writes, "Imagine coming home to this." Security footage captures a large and heavy-looking sofa flip forward onto its face unexpectedly. A moment later, a piece of glass is catapulted from a display in the corner. The glass launches across the room and hits a wall. Then something seems to be horseplaying with the camera itself. It is rolled around onto the floor, while yet another object appears to be on its way to falling over on it. The scary video cuts out before the object does, but I wonder what else this family came home to. A scary video recovered from WhatsApp begins with an evil laugh and ends with a scream.
Wait, Hassani.
I'm not sure what they've caught on camera. Some kind of twisted half-torso with a demented laugh, it would seem. The strange form leaves the terrified man screaming, and as he runs, a chair moves out on his own with no one under the table, and no jump cuts or other editing tricks that I can make out. The Sonora Inn was built in 1896 and is infamously haunted by many a spirit. Thomas writes that he worked night shift there in 2018 as he was setting up for breakfast at 5 a.m. This is what was captured on security camera. Watch the bowl he places on the counter in the top right corner. Let's see it again. Do you believe in this dining room poltergeist? I feel it might be a case of the wet surface of the bowl acting as a lubricant. After all, he did say it was a bowl of ice, but that's just my theory. What do you think? What would you do if you lived in a haunted house? YouTuber Charles Larita and the Mischief decided to film it. He posted this video in June of 2011, writing, "My house is seriously haunted, and I'm still freaked out about this." In the video, he claims he always hears noises coming from his room, even when there's no one there. And while he's in his room, he feels a strange presence. After setting up a camera at night with the lights on, he discovered something strange around 2 hours into the footage. Here's what he found. The video shows a shot of the room, somewhat unfocused, with a chest of drawers, a black guitar case leaning up against it, and a door. After a moment, the light on the chest of the drawers starts to shake back and forth slightly. Something falls off the top of the chest, and then the door to the left swings close with exactly no one in sight. Many in the comments are freaked out by this bizarre clip, with BTS Nelly Thickums writing, "Move out of that house." Others agree they would have hightailed it out of that place. What would you do if this was your home? It's not too often that you watch a video that completely scares you silly. Published to YouTube by RZ Flame in March of 2017, the uploader of our first clip believes what you're hearing is a ghost, and what you'll soon see will prove it. The sounds are subtle at first. They don't even wake the lone man in the office, who's sleeping on a chair in the corner of the room. Neither does the phone, which rings a couple times shortly after the noises start. He appears to wake slightly, but not enough to get up and answer the phone, and soon he's dozing again. When the phone rings yet again, he finally rises to answer it, before returning to his computer and getting back to work. That's when a chair in the opposite corner of the room spins full circle on its own. This catches the worker's attention briefly, but he shrugs it off and returns to his assignment. A moment later, a water bottle falls from the edge of a desk. At this point, the office worker stands up to gauge what's going on. That's when the poltergeist really has some fun, throwing a chair onto its back in the middle of the office. This activity seems to be the last straw. The man screams and races from the room. That's some good judgment on his part. Two creepy videos show how a normal-looking workplace break room is actually haunted when objects start moving on their own. The object looks like it's being pulled with a string, but then it falls over in the opposite direction like a ghost pushes it. The second creepy video, taken on a different day, shows a coworker losing his mind when an apparent ghost moves more objects on their own. The hidden camera angle looks like this scary video could be a prank, like someone might have been making the objects move off camera in both videos. It's creepy though because according to them, no one else was there. What do you think about the scary things they've caught on tape? Is it paranormal? Laney and Ben's Notorious Poltergeist is at it again. Published in February of 2022, this short clip shows yet another paranormal experience in their haunted home. In the video, a small picture frame falls from a shelf onto the couch below. Then a cat toy is shoved abruptly over. The action is caught on a security camera set up in the room. Upon finding stuff moved, Ben takes viewers through the room using a Kinect app. The figure of a person momentarily appears on the couch, right where the frame has fallen. First it appears sitting, then it looks like it's laying down. Is the demon right in front of him? And what will he do next? This entry is a double dose. The first video comes to us from YouTuber Black Cat in November of 2021. The cameraman is filming from outside a bedroom. At first everything is still and silent. Then the wardrobe doors swing open and close. Plastic bags and other objects are all tossed out of it. They aren't tumbling out. They're literally being ejected. When the cameraman enters to investigate the wardrobe, you can see there is shelving that would prevent anyone of a normal size from hiding in there, out of view and throwing the stuff out. As the camera pans over the wardrobe, noise is heard from behind the cameraman, who jerks around to find a bunch of papers being dispelled from I'm not sure where. While this poltergeist mystery goes unsolved, let's turn to the next one. Published by Nikki McMillan in November of 2021, this security footage was captured at Nikki's workplace. Fine porcelain and glassware is encased in glass in the shop. Nobody is around. Then a solid frame decides to skydive from a shelf in the hallway. There's nothing behind the frame and nothing on the shelf that would have caused it to spring overboard. A closer view of the shelf makes this all the more mysterious. Like the activity in the other video, the frame does not look like it just tumbled from the shelf. It appears as though it's being actively ejected. What witchcraft is at play here? Are these just random tumblings? Or are these entities actively poltergeisting? No need to write a Yelp review. Just chuck your plates off the table. YouTube channel Behind a Side shares this footage of a poltergeist having a cuppa. Keep an eye on the table in the forefront. Chairs scrape away from the table, and a napkin falls to the floor, but then things get aggressive. This poltergeist is sending back his dinner. Here it is again, close up. The activity appears to happen in sequence. I think the small movements are too jarring to be the air conditioning turning on, or some other explainable disturbance, and the more extreme ones, like the chair moving and the plate flying off the table, are clearly paranormal in my opinion. Number 4. Paranormal phenomena. Julie, Kelly, Emily, and Liz are the Ghost Moms, a paranormal investigation team from Kansas who are mothers by day and ghost hunters by night. The team has a unique ghost hunting style that I've never seen before. Aside from bringing a variety of equipment, they also use positivity and a motherly appeal that makes the paranormal feel comfortable enough to communicate with them. Tonight they are extra scared though, because the Ghost Moms are exploring an abandoned haunted prison at the Missouri State Penitentiary, a place where their motherly charm is not particularly useful. As they peer down a long dark hallway, scary ghost noises beckon them from within.
It's really scary not being able to see anything but through the camera.
Here it is again with the sound up, the supposed creepy voice caught on tape. It could be a ghost EVP, or it could be something else like a bat flying away. It's hard to say which. They set up motion detecting paranormal equipment in the area where they heard the noise and apparently are able to convince a ghost to come out of its cell.
Can you touch that ball? What? Touch the light? Do you live here? Oh, thank you. Hey, let go.
Oh my gosh.
A scary, loud noise from another cell demands their attention, and so they place a music box on the floor to see if anything is there.
Why is it speeding up? It's speeding up. It's stopping. He's really joking. Oh, that's really weird.
They are scared because somebody has to be turning the handle to make the music play faster, and as you can see, none of the ghost hunters are near the object. It goes faster by itself.
Why is it doing that? Oh, the REM pod's going off, Julie.
REM pod just went off.
Their equipment detects a ghost in the hallway when none of them are anywhere nearby, so that's bizarre to say the least, if not paranormal. Maybe it was a rat running by, but I think we all know it was probably a spirit. After the Ghost Moms split up to go exploring each haunted prison cell for more paranormal evidence, one of them hears what they think is a scary whispering voice, followed by a fit of laughter. Was it an EVP, or was it one of her fellow ghost hunters?
Hear it.
Have you ever dreamt that you found someone in your bed, but when you pulled the covers away, there was no one there? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by BobbyGO1, the uploader writes, "She plays this off as a joke, but I find it quite weird. The quite weird joke was posted to TikTok originally by TJY. In the video, she says she just came into her room, and it literally looks like there's someone lying in her bed. She keeps saying ew as she approaches the thing, not knowing if indeed there's someone underneath. As she steps closer,
Ew! No! Ew! Ew! Oh my god, is this someone that? No.
the hair stands up on the back of your neck. You prepare yourself to have something or someone jump out at you. But when she lifts the blanket, nothing is there. A wave of relief washes over you, and probably her too. Watching it again, it's very strange how a body appears to be lying under the blanket, and when she yanks it from her bed, it doesn't look thick enough to bunch up like that. Redditor, the classic Drew admits in the comments, if I saw that in real life, I would be so scared. Agreed. I probably wouldn't work up the nerve to approach it. Is this house haunted by a sweet little grandma? YouTuber Dennis of Dark Ghost Paranormal thinks maybe she's not so sweet. He quickly gets a reading on his K2 meter. And soon he doesn't need a K2 to detect this granny's energy. She starts making lots of noise off screen. Before long, she gets physical. It seems she has a message for Dennis. Something rattles inside the wardrobe. Dennis can't get away from it fast enough, and later it happens again. Grandma is all around him. He hears a whining sound. But at least this is just a cat. But later he feels like someone is watching him. And it seems that he is right.
Друзья, я думаю, что мне срочно нужно отсюда сейчас уходить.
Because this happens. And just when you think this wardrobe can't take any more, what does this grandma spirit want from poor Dennis? Maybe a change of clothing? I don't know the answer. That's probably why this is just yet another question that's puzzling the world. A YouTuber named Shannon Griffin recorded this short scene as part of an amateur film he was working on. One of his friends, Rachel, goes into the alley and the scene ends. It seems simple enough, but look at the bottom left for a weird surprise. The swaying shadow is not supposed to be part of the shot. Later, when Shannon was editing the footage, he was terrified by the strange discovery because nobody was standing off camera there. It's not a tree in the wind because these plants in the foreground don't move at all, while this shadow figure sways wildly. The only explanation I have, assuming that they are telling the truth to begin with, is maybe some nosy neighbor was watching them from a window and cast their shadow on the sidewalk below, but the way the shadow moves is so odd that I don't think this is it at all, so maybe it was paranormal. Who Floats There? Published in March of 2009, this scary video is, as Tracy writes, absolutely petrifying. The group is filming up the stairs as they think someone's there. It's completely dark at first, but then someone turns on a flashlight. They capture what they think is two figures standing at the top landing. After a moment, a quick figure that's just a white light runs across the landing.
It life's only just gone across the top of the landing, but that's not even. Next it.
Tracy thinks it looks like a little baby. Well, our eyes can play tricks on us. Are all our eyes playing the same trick? D-Doc Michael is a Korean-based YouTube channel run by duo Tichi and Michael. The pair travels to various alleged haunted locations across South Korea and document their experiences. On March 21st, 2021, Michael ventures alone to what is said to be the grounds of a passed-away shaman. The first 2.5 minutes of the exploration are rather quiet, but that changes when he finds what looks like a small office or reception desk. He is checking out some paintings left there, and he is startled when he smells what resembles ash. This could explain the box of matches on the table, but he gets a fright when a knife left on a plate starts moving on its own. This causes him to flee the room briefly, before he returns and tosses the knife outside. Later, after cautiously passing in front of a mirror, he peers into the next room and is startled to see what appears to be candlelight coming from the other side of some faded glass. As he discovers, to his relief, it is just a street light. His live chat starts frantically typing to look at the ceiling. Confused, he looks all over the ceiling but finds nothing. But that's when they tell him to look at it through the mirror. He does so, but again finds nothing. However, the chat seems to have seen something on the ceiling through the mirror when he passed by it earlier. It's hard to tell if there is actually something there, but maybe you can see it for yourself. Deeper into the house, he sees a roll-out poster sticking out around the door. Much to his shock, it appears to be lightly moving up and down, as if trying to roll itself. It gets a good way up before dropping down again, leaving the startled man to slowly creep around. On the parchment is what appears to be a caricature of a being or symbol. Eventually, he starts asking if whatever is there will talk to him. A loud sliding noise startles him. The investigation escalates when lights in the room starts flickering on and off without explanation. His voice becomes more distressed at this point, and he is clearly reaching the end of his nerve. However, he ventures into the room where the light came from to investigate, only to find nothing there, and that the electricity doesn't even work. Despite seemingly confirming this, he finds another flickering light in the next room. As Michael tries to peer around the corner, a section of the wall falls and almost lands on top of him. Clearly, something doesn't want him around. He makes a quick exit from the room, then returns to apologize and asks to talk. However, he doesn't stay long, seemingly compelled to another room. There, he finds a photograph left on a table. Could this be who he has been encountering? The creepiest encounter of the entire night is when Michael peers into a dark room, only to see a figure moved in the shadows. The figure resembles a shoulder, with its neck and head obscured. Something remains within these walls, and Michael is clearly convinced he has communicated with something. Hopefully the duo will return together and conduct another investigation in the future. Located in South Carolina, YouTuber Mo Sargi claims that this is the original Crybaby Bridge. Mo finds he isn't the first to check it out and won't be the last.
I just found a Ouija board on the Crybaby Bridge. What? It's wet. That is crazy. I just found a Ouija board.
After finding this homemade Ouija board, a strange truck starts stalking Mo and his team.
Same club has literally passed here like 4 times.
Yeah, that's the same truck.
I'm kidding you.
Oh, stop. He just stopped. Oh, he's coming back.
They return to their investigation, but after asking too many questions, they're met with a vice grip.
Did you love your husband?
What the f was that? What the f?
Gonna grab my neck.
Grab the neck?
Did the female ghost react negatively to this question? As they consider leaving, they sense a presence on the bridge.
I felt something walking over here, bro.
It's just watching us the entire f***ing time. It touched me! It touched me! Oh.
I guess it's time to go. I believe Mo pushed the Crybaby Bridge ghost too far. She didn't like his nosiness, and she took it out on him. He is lucky he didn't become the next ghost to haunt this place. William Sloan has no idea what to make of this paranormal evidence and is asking for help from experts because he admits he doesn't know much about the other side. He was playing with a Ouija board when he made contact with a ghost who calls itself James. William must have forgotten to properly end the ceremony, because ever since then scary stuff like this happens way too often around his now haunted home.
Just rock it a little bit. Just a little bit.
Obviously, there's no one behind it or near it except for him, but the lighting is a little low, so maybe he was pulling on a piece of string to make it look like a ghost is moving the chair. Weeks later, William tries his best to harness some type of relationship with the spirit. Train it, if you will. One of the paranormal experiments is called the candle trick, and it involves trying to get James to move the candle around.
One more time.
Most objects, when pulled with a string, will glide over the smooth surface of a table. This sounds different, like it's being pushed down into the table with some amount of friction. William also claims to have been trying to get James to blow the candle out, but I guess that hasn't been caught on video yet. If you're still not sure what to make of this, you're not alone. Sometimes William himself has doubts, but whenever he does, it seems like the ghost has more scary moments to show.
I don't know. Just a little bit. I'm not convinced.
Even assuming the sliding glass door was open, the timing of the wind gust is undeniable. Much like the candle, William says he's not convinced, and then James convinces him.
Holy.
William has saved the best paranormal evidence for last. This time he gives James a new object, a bell. He doesn't believe in modern ghost hunting equipment and believes a simpler approach will yield the best results. He rings the bell a few times to show James that it works and then invites him to do the same.
You did that. Just give me one good ring if you're there. You see that? Is that happening?
Since William asked for help, I'll give my overall analysis. I think videos like this are hard to fake. I've seen a lot of them, and this is probably the most convincing, because I don't know how he could be faking ghost movement from that close. In other words, the bizarre activity is probably real. A YouTuber named Adam Edwards is making a Disneyland vlog when suddenly something sinister decides to make an unwanted guest appearance behind him.
Hey guys, so today we're in Disneyland and I'm gonna look out the new ride.
Two hands reach out for him from behind a red curtain with long gnarled fingers. Adam quickly turns the corner and finds nothing where the hands just were. He goes back around the corner, and as soon as he starts talking, the hands return, yet when he checks again, nothing's there. I did notice that he never checks around the floor, so this could be a pre-planned prank. If that's the case, I'm guessing his friend was on the other side, and they ducked down as soon as Adam went around the corner. Still, let me know if you recognize this part of Disneyland, and if you've ever experienced anything similarly strange there. This video is believed to have happened sometime in 2001. A person is walking around what looks like to be an old basement when they think they notice something on the floor.
What downside? Right. That on the floor. Right there.
The footage is too grainy to see, but I think he may have been looking at a shoe, or even the top of someone's head coming out from just behind the door. Suddenly, he looks up and sees some sort of white apparition glaring back at him with lifeless glowing eyes. I guess that it could just be someone who is dressed up, but there's something about his reaction that seems genuine. A YouTuber named Austin Shippey is using the Ouija board with a friend. They apparently make contact, but it's not necessarily the spirit's answers that make this video haunting, but rather the strange sounds that kept coming from the background. It seems like every time they ask a question, something weird happens in the background.
Hey.
Perhaps the weirdest moment of all comes at the very end of the video, when they are ready to leave.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Goodbye.
There is no reason for the pointer to squeak like that. They are on a smooth surface and are not pushing down hard at all. The wardrobe ritual is one of the paranormal world's most dangerous games. YouTubers PIT Paranormal Investigation Team complete the ritual, which turns up more than they expected.
Close up! Close up! Close up!
Something grabs Debbie, and it isn't human. What was that? A human-like hand appears for a moment to grab Debbie's shoulder, but no one is behind her. I do believe the ritual was successful. They summoned a demon. Now the question is, how do you send it back? Number 3. Moving Objects Mysteries. Ask and you shall receive. Posted to the Paranormal Evidence subreddit. Paranormal Popcorn writes that his friend Jason sent him this scary video. The video shows a digital clock. It's 5:57. Jason says he was awoken by a loud noise, so he entered the living room and found an overhanging light fixture swinging wildly back and forth. He says they haven't had an earthquake as far as he knows. He explains that an old hutch in the room once showed reflections in the glass, whereas the door of the hutch was locked in place. It was found hanging open. He shows that a couple of other overhanging lights are not swinging, only this one by the hutch is. He explains that this happened once before, and so he believes he has an entity on his hands. He starts addressing his girlfriend's departed grandmother who owned the hutch. Her name was Manny. He asks the entity if she has a message for him or would like to communicate. He asks the entity to move something or make a noise to signal that she's there. Though out of frame, an old chair slides loudly on its own.
Please move something and let me know that you're here.
If I knew.
He asks again and the chair slides a second time.
Or give me a sign that it's you. That would mean a lot.
He checks beneath the table and nothing is there. While Jason certainly seems calm, though bewildered, he probably shouldn't be interacting with the spirit. As Redditor Christian Sands writes in the comments, if this is real, I would tell your friend to stop immediately asking the entity to move things. It's like an open invitation to a long-term relationship. Would you like a long-term relationship with this ghost? Yeah, me neither. YouTuber Donna Aries has a roommate that she cannot see. Let's take a look at this mischievous poltergeist in action.
Just come in, just heard something, so just grab my iPad to see if I see anything. And I'm sure I saw the cup move, so I've just grabbed me. There you go, again.
Donna does a good job of reassuring viewers that this is no gimmick.
Under there, that's just a bracket from an old drawer that used to be there. There's nothing in the cupboard, it's just cutlery and stuff. Nothing under there apart from pots and pans. There's no magnets.
Even if the surface was wet, the way it's moving is not how an object would move across a wet surface.
Underneath, there's nothing. It's just an old metal cup. No.
And then this happens.
Oh my gosh. The surface isn't wet or anything. It's all dry. So there's no reason for it to be moving. And it's moving again.
The only thing I can think of to debunk this is the nearby stove. If it's an induction stove, then it uses magnetic fields to generate heat. It would follow that a metal cup nearby would be drawn if the field is strong enough, but that's just a theory, and the way the cup moves is too erratic. Do you have any ideas? This ghost has had a few too many. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Best of Us, here is yet another haunted bar whose resident ghosts' sauced-up antics were caught on camera. Watch the bottles to the left of the bar. One bottle on the second shelf starts to nudge toward the edge. While a wet surface sometimes has that effect on items placed on that surface, it usually doesn't lead to this. After inching slowly toward the ledge, the bottle takes a sudden jarring leap, knocking a second bottle below it off the display. This doesn't seem like a natural progression. Rather, it seems like the bottle was yanked from the ledge by some unseen entity. Many in the comments relate their own stories of haunted bars, with Redditor Your Dumb Idiot chiming in. I used to work at a bar that was haunted. Always the same bottle thrown off the shelf in the morning despite me moving it to prove it wasn't a ghost. Well, many, including myself, wonder what these bar ghosts could possibly want from us by throwing bottles around. Redditor Tech Impaired has one theory. He writes, they just wanted some booze. I see what they did there. A YouTuber named Rata Negra Mago is positive that his house is haunted, and he claims to have the evidence to back it up. The kid's toy moves across the table and I don't see a string. Then a bottle falls off the table. There are no shadows coming from the other room when it happens. No one is around. And right before it happens, this strange traveling light appears. Looks paranormal to me. 4 days later, he catches this object moving all by itself. This one I find a little harder to believe, because I feel like it's definitely in their grandma's line of sight. I mean, how could you miss a bright green reflective veg doing 360s for almost a full minute is beyond me. She must have been fully absorbed in her show. I have my doubts about this one, but at the same time I don't know how they're doing it, so maybe it's real. This final video taken almost a year later is perhaps the oddest of all. This hanging ornament begins moving in place with nothing to help get it started. Yes, it's by an open window, but there's no wind. The leaves on this plant don't move, and neither does this towel hanging over a chair. And it's not the air conditioner either, because this connected red string doesn't move at all. And if you're still not convinced, take a listen. At 1 minute and 20 seconds, this phantom light reflects across the stereo glass, though to be fair, it could just be a member of the family. Are there spirits at play here, or just pranksters? Published in November of 2018, this security camera footage shows some suspicious activity in this man's driveway. A man is seen walking to his driveway's gate at around 1 in the morning. As he opens the gate and steps out, a chair that is sitting about 10 feet away flies off the handle, making the man jump out of there. Another dude is seen racing out of the driveway as well. Another short clip shows the man organizing and stacking items in a storage room. As he does, the door suddenly closes. Again, he jumps up, clearly scared. Are these strange events paranormal? Or is some jokester playing pranks on this innocent person? I'm siding with the paranormal option for this one. It might be time to call an exorcist. This TikToker has a haunted kitchen with 2 moving utensils. First, this spoon handle moves towards him, and there's no string visible against the dark wooden cabinets when it happens. All he can do is laugh in amazement as the spoon moves towards him. The handle even hovering in midair for a bit again with no strings attached.
Ghosts are funny until they start coming to your house. Show you guys that I have a freaking poltergeist.
I'm almost positive this video can't be real, but at the same time, I don't see how it's being faked. Give me your best guess as to how he made both of these utensils move without any string. Okay, here's a weird one. The closet door in this bedroom keeps opening by itself, but before I even get into that, look what happens with the lamp. Somehow the bulb becomes extremely bright and goes back to normal despite lacking a dimmer switch. After that, the closet door swings open seemingly all by itself. Tell me if you see any signs of human interference here, because I see none whatsoever.
There it goes. And as you can see, there's nothing there.
I thought they were using a hook or something on the bottom right to pull the door open, but when I watched again I saw it was just a power strip running to the lamp. If anything, the door actually moves the strip out of the way, not the other way around. The closet looks too full to hold another item, but who knows what else was in there staring at them from the other side. Things aren't always what they seem. YouTube channel Rootstown Paranormal shares this security footage captured at a gas station in Wadsworth, Ohio. Pay attention to the garbage cans. Every garbage can shifts to the right simultaneously, but how? If you watch closely, I think the video has been sped up toward the end. Keep your eye on the truck bed. The bottom right of the tarp seems to move unnaturally. This suggests to me that a strong wind may have moved all of the trash cans, but not as quickly as the video suggests. What do you think is going on here? Sometimes you just want to kick back and relax, and then this happens. Published to YouTube in February of 2018, this YouTuber from Brandon, Manitoba, Canada writes, "Was watching TV when I heard noises, started to record and caught this."
Oh no!
My apartment has things going on. In the clip, the uploader says he's been hearing some unexplained banging in the apartment. Soon, the source of the banging demonstrates that he means business. A chair scrapes towards the camera across the floor on its own. Then behind it in the other room, a garbage can flips right over. It seems something in this house is out to get him. As Devon the 9th Hokage advises in the comments, you have to get out of there. Take Devon's advice before it's too late. This definitely looks paranormal to me. A YouTuber named RFam is doing a gym vlog when their punching bag begins moving on its own. Slowly at first, but gaining momentum over time. So even if she pushed it herself, it should slow down over time and eventually settle down. But that's not what happens at all. She dances for almost 10 minutes and the punching bag sways back and forth the entire time. What I can't understand is how she dances so close and doesn't notice the whole time. I guess she must have really been into her routine. There's no strings attached to the piece of equipment, and aside from this explanation, I can't think of any other way she could have faked it. This medicine ball also starts moving in the exact same way with no one touching it, at least no one that I can see, and no shadows on the wall to indicate someone off camera. Again, I can't believe she walks right by, but I suppose she simply feels comfortable at home and isn't exactly looking for anything out of the ordinary. This poltergeist is cooking up something scary. A YouTuber's security camera captured his kitchen coming to life. Moments later, this happened. And then not satisfied with the first couple forks, the poltergeist gets one last in for good measure. I'm guessing this poltergeist is either an angry cook or that he's a foodie who's lost his appetite in the afterlife. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez captures this house being antisocial. Watch these china cabinet drawers. Here it is again, a little slower this time. The creepiest part of this footage is the shadow figure that moves towards the china cabinet. Keep your eyes peeled for it. Is that one of the creepiest things you've ever seen? I think this is one of the most authentic shadow figures I've witnessed. What do you think? Number 2. Paranormal Investigation Chronicles. While investigating the purportedly haunted Loveland Castle in Ohio, YouTube team Bump in the Night Society experiences something fascinating. Lead investigator Sean is doing a remote estays session in the throne room, while his team watches using a baby monitor. This is the message he is given.
Camera.
The team asks the spirits to do something.
Can you knock one of the cameras over, please?
Then, shortly after this happens...
Oh! No, it knocked mine. It knocked the baby monitor.
You got that okay. Back to that.
Dude, right? You good?
Here it is again from inside the room.
Over, yeah. Back with that. You alright? You good?
Was it just an unstable monitor, or did the spirits answer their request? Personally, I think the spirits were listening. This is too much of a coincidence to be anything but the paranormal. The team from YouTube channel Proving Demons is proving it again by meeting the devil himself in this scary video. While in this haunted prison, they are given a demonic message that sounds more like nagging.
Children, that's Sarah Van capable of harming the devil is himself. That's serious.
Later, they hear some noises in the dark hallways.
What's that horrible noise? That's me, sorry. Sounds like machinery going off.
As they're listening intently to the screechy sounds they're hearing in the distance, a door opens much closer to home.
Yo, that door just opened.
That door just opened. That door just opened.
Really?
Yeah. It was closed 2 seconds ago. And it just opened.
They again hear a distant scream.
What the What was that? You just hear the screaming? The guy yelling?
Although I didn't hear it myself, the next bit is plain as day.
Can you open that window again?
I literally Stop. Oh my. It was like that bit came rotating.
And that was actually last as well.
Yeah. Look, oh my close in it. There is no wind in here at all.
They continue to explore and hear a door slam, but unfortunately didn't have their cameras on to catch it. But then...
That was another door and I wasn't even filming. Please. Slam another door for us. It came from over here. That. Holy...
The doors and windows are opening and shutting everywhere in this prison. My theory is that the souls of former prisoners are trying to escape, but it looks like their life sentences are continuing into the afterlife. YouTube channel Paranormal Nightmare TV series explored the Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, where they found they were not alone. The cameraman explains that while exploring the various cells, he started hearing things.
Went to go do that talk with George. And I had to go move the van. Well, I didn't know where the hell you guys went. So I walked around every one of these cells. And I got into here, and this was the first time walking in here. And I got...
Then a series of crazy things happen.
I just had a cold breeze go by me.
I know you've had a lot of groups into here, people into here, what they quit at.
Here are some of those same events from another angle.
No.
While the singing is disturbing, it sounds like mechanical screaming of some kind to me. It's very repetitive, like the whining of machinery, but this image gives me the creeps.
You come closer.
I think this place is 100% haunted. Twin Paranormal had the scariest night of their lives in the Mark Twain Museum. Let's see what they captured. As they've set up a paranormal device in front of a mysterious mirror, they're confronted by the spirits.
Don't be alarmed.
Thought somebody stepping up the stairs.
My heart races go nuts.
And then this happens.
That was right at the door. Are you touching me?
A moment later, a shadow passes by. Keep an eye on the doorway.
You frickin' do?
Yeah.
Then a series of activity occurs.
Jesus, dude.
Dude, the vibe up here is whack.
This spirit must have suffered, but what did it suffer? With just one of the few crew members upstairs, this happens.
What? Stay where you're at. What's up?
Yes, I did.
Oh my guys, I just said you wanted just me up here. They said yes, I did.
What does the spirit want with just one of them? The crew better stick together because it's trying to isolate them individually. For what aim? I'm not so sure, but I have a feeling this spirit is malignant. It's been reported that the UK's Rivington Pike is haunted. YouTube team Dimensions Paranormal explore the moors, and the most mysterious part of their investigation occurs when they return to their car.
What? What?
No!
Okay. Okay. That's weird. That's really weird.
Their car door is wide open. Did one of them accidentally leave it open? Did someone break in? Or is this a paranormal incident?
Fucking nice dolls. Yeah. Did you see the door, John?
I'm pretty sure the doors were all shut.
Their valuables weren't taken, and they're pretty certain they shut the doors, so they ask the spirits here if they were the culprits, but they don't receive a valid answer.
Okay, did somebody open the car? Has somebody opened the car? Can you tell me who it was? Oops. I swear this was...
Well, I think it's possible that one of the team left the door open. That seems really improbable to me, and the fact that their stuff is all still there suggests there's been no foul play. That leaves paranormal activity as the explanation, and I believe it. While at Woodlawn's jail, YouTube team Blue Line Paranormal finds they are not welcome. The other two individuals in the video are Kay and Andre Salazar. Kay and Gage Mansfield were the ones filming this interaction. The team tells the spirits they're going to leave, and they respond.
Hey, we're leaving. Whoa, wait, the REM pod in jail yet?
Yeah, I hear that.
A REM pod goes off in the jail cell. They go to check it out.
Look at that. And nobody has walked through here or anything. Oh.
And it hasn't been off, it's been sitting.
Yeah, that's what it said, it's been quiet all night.
This goes on for a long while, and the REM pod's response intensifies.
Wow.
Sounds like a police siren.
Yeah.
It's getting more intense.
The spirit triggers it so much that it kills the REM pod entirely.
It's dead. It is completely dead.
With this degree of response, I'm not sure whether the spirits wanted them to leave or were protesting their departure. Either way, they sure seem to be reacting excessively. Scotty, the NJ medium, is holding a ghost hunting expedition. When he thinks he hears a growling noise, he wants the ghost to reveal itself, and that's when things do not go as they'd expected.
What's the name of the person growling?
The door opens, but what happens next is a total surprise. The spirit box says who's knocking, followed by 2 taps at the door. Obviously, no one is standing on the other side, because you'd be able to see them easily.
Yo, are you kidding?
Scotty and his team admit they're not sure if the door was latched shut or not, but they say there's no wind. I'm pretty sure I can hear wind though, so I'll turn the sound up and you tell me what you think. We've seen 30 East Drive here on Chills before. It's considered one of the most haunted places on Earth. This time, it's the Ouija brothers' turn to meet the evil entity that resides here.
You still want to contact us? It's a little no.
That was definitely a knock. You can also hear it in the hallway.
You still want to contact us? It's a little no.
Later, while they're on the stairs, they hear another loud bump.
Here's more. And where?
Got a bit with me.
Have you seen this? It felt like he was under there.
They hear something again on the landing. Later, while they're all sleeping, their Steadicam captures more knocking. Others in the comments say they've visited 30 East Drive and heard similar noises. I'm not on the fence with this one. This place is haunted, and though the activity was subtle on this one, combined with other evidence of Fred the Ghost, I believe it. While exploring a haunted farmhouse alone, Dan from Nighthawk's Paranormal hears something present.
Make it fall forwards or backwards. I'll just push it up.
You can hear faint footsteps, but when Dan looks over the landing, no one is there. Dan hears numerous other sounds in the house, including a male voice talking. And strange whispers.
What the flipping it was that? Please tell me you heard that noise then.
I definitely get creepy vibes from this place, and wouldn't doubt that spirits are abound. All the unnerving whispers and unexplained noises do suggest the presence of John Penswick or some other spirit. What do you think is the case? While touring this haunted home, YouTuber Dimitri from A Sip of Fear finds that devilry is at play. First he hears it. Later, after setting up some cameras, his work is thrown to the ground. It seems to me that the devil does not wish to be captured on camera, but he has no say in the matter. If I were Dimitri, I'd be getting out of there ASAP. Next time you're confronted by voices in a haunted house, you should probably just skip town. Redditor Alex_Paranormal TV posted the scary paranormal investigation to the Chills Narrator subreddit. It was originally posted on YouTube in February of 2020. The house being explored is a Cole Harbour house in London. As Alex Paranormal explains, we investigate the Cold Harbour house that no one wants to live in because of the extreme activity and what resides inside the Shadow Man.
What, it's got a fire on it? Yeah. What, it's got a fire on it? Yeah.
The exploration turns up loads of paranormal activity. At 8:53 in the video, Alex mumbles something as they're exploring, to which a disembodied voice answers, "Yeah." A little later, after setting up the spirit box, it either moves or falls over on its own at 16 minutes 7 seconds.
Well, it's from free stuff, mate. Did you just look that?
Oh, mate. Just hop the light on the dark.
Who are you?
A short time after, at 16 minutes 55 seconds, an evil laugh occurs as the team attempts to speak with the spirits.
Is this your room? Where are you?
The laughter occurs again at around 22 minutes 9 seconds. And at 22 minutes 49 seconds, a grunt can be heard.
You just grunt then? What was that? Was that you?
As they're talking about the grunt, a very audible knock sounds on the adjacent door at 23 minutes 35 seconds. They continue to explore the haunted house. While they're in a hallway, about to enter another room, a door slams at 26 minutes 55 seconds.
Oh, that's about you. Is that you?
No.
Continuing in their exploration after a while, they discover an old Tonka truck in a room. When one guy asks if that's an old Tonka toy, a disembodied voice at 31 minutes 52 seconds answers yeah.
That's an old Tonka toy, isn't it?
What is?
A number of other disembodied voices are noted throughout the video, as if the house was whispering a secret to them, if only they'd just listen. What was it trying to tell them, and what would you do in a house that talks to you? I'd just move out. Here's a true horror story for you. Jane and Bob Dorodic lived on a horse ranch. called Caspian Stables, Bob Dorodic turned up lifeless one day, and Jane was the prime suspect. But to this day, the mystery of who ended Bob's life remains unsolved. YouTube team Mackie and Amanda head to Caspian Stables to try and get to the bottom of this dark case. Their investigation is chill-inducing straight away.
Really? Like they're talking to horses, basically?
It's hiding. It's done.
And to put us all more on edge, they hear a scream.
What the was that? That was a scream.
Using some dowsing rods, they get some answers.
That was the best one yet.
Straighten them back out and we'll ask the next question.
Can you straighten them?
But this doesn't seem enough to confirm any theories. As they get ready to leave the creepy horse ranch, they give the spirit one last opening.
This is I guess your last chance to talk to us right here. What did it say? Can you say that again? Is there anything else you want to say?
She's evil.
That's what it sounds like.
She's evil. Who's evil? I think we can guess, but I don't want to point fingers based on paranormal data. Saint Joseph of Cupertino was an Italian Franciscan friar and mystic who is said to have levitated miraculously during his lifetime whenever he experienced visions. This image, which is trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community, is believed to be Saint Joseph resurrected. A clip published by Breakman in October of 2021 explains that some believers claim that this image has captured the actual appearance of Saint Joseph rising into the dome inside this Catholic church. His dark figure doesn't mesh with the rest of the lighter artwork in the church dome, which has some convinced that he isn't part of the church decor, but rather a being in the flesh. What do you think? If this is a person, then I think something more powerful has to be in control here. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. Haunted encounters.
Do you hear that?
Aries Safari 13 and their friend hear a mysterious knocking on the door of the laundry room. Listen again.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
That's not a washing machine, that's knocking. They go to the door and there's nothing there as far as I can tell, but that doesn't mean there isn't a ghost in the hallway haunting them. When they go up to the door, it stops, but that just makes this TikTok video even scarier in my opinion, because it's like the ghost is messing with them. This video was taken around Halloween when paranormal investigator and YouTuber The Fam visited the gravesite where famous rapper XXXTentacion was laid to rest. He records the glass door while paying their respects, and you can see the inside of the memorial is empty. But when they pass over the door a second time, something is very different. Look at the bottom left window or you'll miss it. What's especially crazy is how he seems to appear as soon as they leave a hat and harvest pumpkin as tribute. If this video is to be believed, then it's as if he is paying his respects to his fans from beyond the grave. YouTube channel The Paranormal Road Trippers were sent on a mission by followers to check out one of Canada's most haunted roads.
With our driving experiment of up and down the road, we did not see any ghost dogs, nor did we see a ghost woman. We've sped the video up as we tried the experiment a total of 4 times.
Though the YouTubers did not encounter either the lost lady or the ghost dog, they completed a second experiment.
Is based on a story we've been told that if you leave the keys of the vehicle on the hood with your car turned off, that someone, specifically a girl, will come and take the keys off the hood of the truck. So we're gonna try that out.
And something unusual happened.
What happened? So while we were
My door just opened.
Has the ghost woman had enough of their experiments? Well, I'm not sure if a door falling open is enough to prove this place is haunted. I'm getting some super creepy vibes from this place. I'd keep off Keeping Road if I were you. Gabby Licht has seen a ghost. Published in September of 2018, Gabby shares her ghost story while also showing footage she captured on camera. The scary video shows the door of her room opening and closing slightly, back and forth. She also says the knob is jiggling.
When I had a ghost experience, but I'll put the video here. You can kind of see the handle just like wiggling back and forth, and it's kind of weird. It didn't freak me out that bad, but it's kind of strange to have it on video. I showed my parents and it freaked my mom out, but I've had other stuff happen, so it's just kind of interesting to get that one on video. But this next one, I guess...
Gabby has been experiencing the paranormal for something like 8 years now, and this is just one event she captured on video. Is something trying to communicate with her? It sure seems that way to me. The big question is, what is it saying? Two friends unlock the door to an unfinished attic and step inside. Their single flashlight briefly shines across a mattress that nearly takes up the entire space. As they ponder what all of this means, a force pushes them over and the room goes dark. When the flashlight kicks back on, one of them gets off the ground on unsteady feet.
What's wrong? What? Just go. Go?
I think there's a possibility they could be acting, but then again, maybe a spirit is bound to the mattress and doesn't take kindly to intruders. You don't want to hear this whisper at the Whispers Estate. The YouTube channel Crossing Art Paranormal was visiting the haunted Indiana estate when this happened.
You're sitting what were you? Let me check it.
The angry EVP sounds like it's saying, "Get out." But the team doesn't listen. This is the end of the clip, so I don't know for certain if they'll live to regret it. All I know for sure is, I'm going to stay far away from this haunted estate. This footage was taken after hours by a staff member on a college campus in North Yorkshire. It was shot through a classroom window and shows the outline of a person attentively studying at a computer, seemingly without knowing that they were being filmed. The only problem is that no one else should have been in the building at the time. The video could be CGI, or it could be the actual weightless black mass of a real ghost. For those of you who haven't heard or don't remember, on August 13th, 2018, a man named Chris Watts made national headlines after taking the lives of his two daughters, Bella and Celeste, and his wife Shanann, who was 15 weeks pregnant. Two police investigators and a special canine handler now search the Watts residence on August 14th, one day after Shanann was reported missing. They are confident that their dog will be able to sniff out any DNA evidence that Chris Watts may have tried to scrub away. What they find instead is an abundance of paranormal evidence as recorded by their chest-mounted camera. Like this part where I hear the unmistakable laughter of a child as they pass through Bella's room at 12 minutes and 32 seconds. Listen for yourself, there's no denying it.
Well, there's plenty of person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that was a motion-activated doll or something, but I doubt it, especially given what else they hear in the next room over. A voice says something like, "I have CC," which is short for Celeste, and they are standing in the room of Celeste too. Then again, I think it could be the K9 handler saying something under her breath as she checks the closet, so maybe it's not paranormal after all. Things get weird once again as they enter the garage. Another voice, a woman this time. but it could be the officer whispering something to herself. Moments later, they pass by these containers in the garage. Containers Chris was believed to have used to transport the bodies from the house into his truck. The dog sniffs them, but everything looks clean.
Something was set him off down in this area.
As they are walking away, they record this. It's a wail of agony coming from all directions at once. But that's not all. The most compelling evidence occurs in the very beginning, but I've saved it for last. Check out the top of the stairway on the left when they first enter. There is some movement that I find very strange. It could be a trick of the light playing across the rails, but I see a little girl rushing down the steps. A girl with a short haircut. She vanishes before she reaches the bottom, and this event also coincides with a shadow figure sighting recorded by police on a different night after the home security alarm mysteriously went off on its own. It's in the same area and roughly the same size as before. A poor girl lost, looking down at the entrance and disappearing before she reaches the bottom of the stairs. A YouTuber named Jamie Sinclair is hanging out with her friend and her dog when she records some weird things.
What the?
She looks up to see a swing set is moving on its own. As she gets closer, we can notice some things that make this unexplained video even more mysterious. Okay, so the obvious answer is that it's the wind, right? Wrong. Look at this rope next to it, stationary. Are you meaning to tell me that the wind is strong enough to push this swing but not move this rope? I don't think so. Footprints are all around the swing, so I'm not acting like her friend couldn't have pushed it and then acted surprised. But the point is, there's no way to tell for sure, and even the smallest chance of paranormal activity is still creepy to think about. Something about railroad tracks at night is eerily haunting, and these creepy tracks are no exception. Published by Panic Attack Scary Videos in October of 2014, this scary video might make you have a panic attack. Located in Redo, Texas, these old-timey railroad tracks have a terrible history. According to urban legend, a railroad worker let a train take his life on these tracks a very long time ago, and ever since his ghost has been seen on occasion around midnight, hovering over the bridge carrying a lantern. The boys here are interested in seeing if the tales are true. After being chaotically through the woods by a wild boar, they fall onto the tracks. That's when they see it. A mysterious light is shining at a distance on the bridge, just as the urban legend said it would. It's too far away to be distinct. They say it looks like a ball of light, and they walk toward it. But as they approach, after a while it goes out, leaving them in darkness. Was it the railway man of legend? I guess we're left in the dark about that too. Zach from The Adventures of Zach and Bee is sure that a wild animal is in his attic. It's dark up there, so he takes the camera with him for light. The noise coming from his attic is unlike anything I've ever heard before. It sounds like a baleful combination of scratching, growling, and howling. Zach doesn't bother going any deeper, and I really can't blame him. Unfortunately for him, it sounds like something follows him on the way out.
Well, I don't see anything, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
An unseen voice says don't, and I think it also says get out of here too. Obviously, this is a real human voice and not an animal after all, and whoever was making that noise remains a mystery. Located in Philadelphia, Fort Mifflin is known for its role in the Revolutionary and Civil Wars, and considering this history, it's also said to be haunted. YouTuber Katrina Weidman and her team head there to investigate. Using a photon camera built by Zach, who's an electrical engineer, the team captures movement and sounds inside the fort. This occurred in the Powder magazine. The team says no one was near the place at the time this was captured. A little later, Zach is running a thermal camera outside where he captures this.
I just heard a scream. I don't think that was the girls. I don't know if this is recording audio, but I just heard a scream.
When the team is later all together again, they get a spark on the Tesla coil.
Hey, can you touch that Tesla coil? Or the thing that's making some noise in the middle of the room?
Sparking can.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't know if I see it, but I hear it.
Was this where you stayed during solitary confinement?
To me, this seems like solid evidence to suggest that Fort Mifflin is indeed haunted, and it sounds to me like a former prisoner here continues to live out his afterlife in solitary confinement.